Sam Griesel. The head coach for the Minnesota Golden Gophers is Ben Johnson. And the head coach for the Nebraska Cornhuskers is Fred Hoiberg.
Those are the starters. Derek Walker leading the way for Nebraska in points, rebounds, and assists. Minnesota getting a lot from Dawson Garcia. Let's go over to Andy Katz.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Ben Johnson just about an hour or so ago when he got to the arena. And what I was so impressed with was how confident he is about this team. They've been playing some of their best basketball. One of the big reasons, guys, they're healthy. They barely had, a couple of games, maybe, where they had their entire team together, the team they thought they would have at the beginning of the season, let alone a number of practices. But this team comes here this evening feeling pretty good about themselves, which you don't always get from a 14th place team.
Yeah, there's the injuries on your screen. Parker Fox, Isaiah Eden, they never played this year. And then Carrington, Garcia, and Battle went through their issues. But again, Minnesota playing better down the stretch. We'll see what they have in the tank tonight. It's Garcia against Walker at midcourt. They have to be separated. Perfect start. Paul Sells, the official there.
Goodness.
Hey, third time's going to be the charm, though.
This is a big tip right here.
Oh, they both jumped too early.
All right.
What a way to get things started here in game 2 on night 1. Backdoor, inside. Ooh, miss at the rim for Jamarcus Lawrence.
Great action right there. Anytime you can use Tominaga as a screener, and Lawrence saw that run off to the rim. Got a good look, but just couldn't get it to go right at the basket.
Minnesota team is 2-17 in Big Ten play, and they turn it over here on their first offensive possession.
Well, right idea, and we've seen Minnesota certainly go to some of that high-low action. Whether it's Pharrell Payne, Dawson Garcia, even Ola Joseph, those guys will look to post up. But really the thing I'm watching for tonight is rebounding and turnovers. Both these teams really struggle in both of those facets of the game. We'll see tonight who can win those battles.
Easy look for Derek Walker. I mentioned a moment ago, Robbie, but he leads him in points, rebounds, and assists.
The 15 assists and just 9 turnovers the last 3 games. Sometimes it's got a little turnover happy, but he really has to make plays, especially with the injuries. They've used him as a facilitator. He'll drive it, he'll post, he can beat you in a number of ways. And these post-entry passes for Minnesota just not good enough.
Well, you said it. Turnovers have been an issue for both of these teams, and Minnesota turns it over on their first 2 possessions.
Some interesting matchups out here as well. Battle starting on Griesel, and that's really the starting point guard for Nebraska. He loves to post, but Battle will bring a physicality inside to that matchup.
These 2 teams met twice during the regular season. Nebraska swept the series, although it did take overtime at the barn for them to get it done. Here's Tominaga. In and out.
You're Jaden Henley. He doesn't need any help getting going. You gamble through that, you better get the steal. And Tominaga, that's a break for Minnesota. That's a quality look.
He's hit 64 threes this year, and here he is on the defensive end, taking the charge.
Now Tominaga moving his feet. Henley trying to get to the basket. Just that off arm extending out. Tominaga known for his offense, but a solid defensive play right there.
He's not easy to chuck at 172 pounds. Or maybe he is. Driving inside Walker. Spinning with the left. He's got the game's first 4.
He's got a lot of game for a starting center. Second team all conference by the coaches. Honorable mention by the media. Shows just how much they respect his game. But he has been a big part of this offensive resurgence, and they will go through him all night long.
Minnesota, 3 possessions, 3 turnovers, and now 4 possessions, and the 4th one a missed shot.
It's a good move. I mean, Ola Joseph is right there.
My goodness. Shot that one from Schaumburg to Jamarcus Lawrence.
Good knowledge of Chicago, Brent.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
5 of 8 from 3 in Iowa. Still feeling hot, apparently, from Sunday.
Battle, who definitely is a good 3-point shooter. He's hit a team-best 56 of them this year, but off the mark there. Catch and shoot, Lawrence.
He definitely is still feeling hot from Sunday. That's some early aggression from a freshman who's really given them a boost offensively. Minnesota is just So careless with some of these passes right now.
Boy, Rob, that's 4 turnovers.
Well, Wisconsin on Sunday up in Minneapolis had a lot of success with both Tyler Wall and Steven Crowell. So you have to imagine Derek Walker is going to have every opportunity to drive the basketball and post up Dawson Garcia.
And here he goes again, this time around the arc to Griesel. And he's bumped.
Griesel, another guy that's playing some great ball. 6 straight games in double figures, 14 points, 6 rebounds a game, 51% from the field, 46 from 3. That's an area where he's had some struggles, but 7 of his last 15 from beyond the arc.
One of the transfers for Fred Hoiberg, played his last 4 years at North Dakota State. Again, it's the freshman, but Lawrence misses once more.
That's okay, though. That's a quality look. Was Talon Cooper really sagging in on that action and giving up that 3 on the weak side.
Well, Walker's 2 of 2 for Nebraska, but the rest of the team is 0 of 5. A lot of youth for this Minnesota team. 4 freshmen that play over 20 minutes a game. This is the experienced vet, Jamison Battle. And he cannot get him on the board.
The second shot he's had that was halfway down. It's a really challenging season. Numbers pretty much down across the board. But he still is more than capable. Just ask the Fighting Illini. He went for 31.
Over 17 last year, but 13 a game this year. And there's a rejection by his teammate, Talon Cooper. Griesel staying with it. Good defense, though, by Cooper.
Back-to-back plays. Cooper giving up some size. 6'4" versus 6'7", but on the play. It's a rejection on Griesel and then a good contest.
Henley, 18-footer. No. First ever postseason meeting between these 2 programs. And it comes in the second game of the tournament. Lawrence fouled and it banks in. Well, he missed his first 4 shots, and then he gets that one to go.
All Jamarcus Lawrence needed was to get drilled as he was letting it go. He comes off the screen, Cooper getting lost, and Dawson Garcia over-aggressive. There's the contact. The bank is open. Jamarcus Lawrence finally getting one to go.
Half. 1 and 2. 2 and 4. Half of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So let's retire inequality. Let's step forward together and let's rise together because dignity, security, retirement is for all.
When you see Wendy's Square Hamburger, you know you're getting the best. Guess who else knows that? Reggie Miller.
I got 5 burgers coming up.
Heard ya. Hamburgers, Willie. Hamburgers.
Hamburgers? No? Okay.
When you want a hamburger worth celebrating,
Where's the beef?
My advice in this one very specific case is to definitely put all your Reese's eggs in one basket. And that your basket be enormous. Oh, and that your basket have wheels so you can roll it around from place to place.
This is for the real ones, the fans that live for this. The type that get there early and love explaining why a 4.25 is effective against an RPO. This is the USFL, reborn from the OGs. The hits, the picks, the dimes, drive so long you have to stop for gas. This isn't some Hollywood knockoff. This is Dragons USDA prime time football. Just ask these guys.
You better recognize the real.
Except no substitutes.
July 15th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Runners can choose between a 10K or 5K option, followed by a fantastic tailgate party featuring mascots, cheerleaders, food, and more. All participants receive a school-specific t-shirt and Big Ten medal. And if you can't make it to Chicago, you can still represent your school and participate virtually wherever you live. Register at btnbig10k.com or scan the QR code on the screen right now.
The Big Ten basketball tournament is presented by TIAA, the official retirement planning partner of the Big Ten. Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. 11th time it's hosted this great event. First time since 2019, and Minnesota not the start that they would want. 8 possessions, 4 missed shots, 4 turnovers.
Well, the turnovers are just a killer, and it's happened for them all season long. 12th on the year in the Big Ten in turnovers per game, but you look at in Big Ten play, they are last in turnover percentage. This has been their deal, and you just cannot afford to give up all those opportunities to generate a quality shot.
Lawrence completes the 4-point play to make it 8-0. Minnesota, their leading scorer is the transfer Dawson Garcia. This is him. Now Cooper on the baseline and a foul.
Minnesota is playing big boy basketball with this lineup in the Twin Towers. Pharrell Payne, Dawson Garcia also have Battle out there on the floor. Simple cross screen action. They're looking to throw it inside. They've got to do better at throwing these post-entry passes. That's where they've struggled. That's where their advantage is going to lie offensively with this group.
And the goose egg is broken. Fred Hoiberg, first time back in the United Center since being the Bulls head coach. He was here in Chicago 2015 to 2018. And 4 seasons as a Bulls player from 99 to 2003 as well. And Nebraska hired him in 2019. Last 3 years, 9 Big Ten wins combined. They won 9 this year alone. Starting to move in the right direction. Baseline drive, Wiltshire almost dragged that pivot foot. Knocked out with 9 to shoot.
Thought he might have. It's hard
it was
to put
close.
on the brakes and somehow keep that foot down.
Wiltshire from the wing. And a weak side rebound to Henley. Jaden Henley, one of those freshmen, cannot get the bounce. Derek Walker. You can see him do this from time to time. He takes it himself, and he draws the foul.
Not a ton of centers nationally who are going to take it off the glass and bring it 94 feet, but Derek Walker is certainly one of them, and that's a really tough guard for Pharrell Payne, who's a talented freshman, has dealt with some real foul trouble issues, 3 or more fouls in 4 or 5 games, but he's trying to pick him up with a full head of steam, and Derek Walker going right through him, drawing a block.
54% shooter, can't get the first. Ben Johnson, he's not a stranger to Chicago, played up the road his first couple of years in college for Northwestern in Evanston before transferring and finishing his playing career for the Golden Gophers. Now Walker missed them both.
That's the one area where he has struggled this year. 54% from the foul line. He is second in the Big Ten Conference in field goal percentage. He's had a great year. He facilitates, but the foul line has certainly been an issue for him.
Set the Nebraska single-season record last year's field goal percentage. That'll help your field goal percentage. A jam by Pharrell Payne.
Minnesota getting Nebraska in a little bit of rotation right there. Ball fake from Cooper. He zips it to Payne, and Payne goes up over the top of 2 defenders and just hammers it. Lawrence.
Cross court. Here's the coach's son, Sam Hoiberg. Long 3, Tominaga off the heel.
The logo. The logo's not that big. Some of these floors have massive logos. It's not the case here at the Big Ten tournament.
Well, Tominaga, we know he's not shy, and he can get it up in a hurry. Around the arc it goes. Henley against 2 defenders, and it's a 6-0 run for Minnesota.
The ball movement, it's really popping around multiple drives, and then Henley, I thought maybe he should have let it fly from 3, made it a tougher shot by driving in, but he maneuvers and finds an angle.
Good response for this Golden Gopher ball club. Sam Hoiberg, one of the guys getting more playing time lately due to those injuries that Nebraska's had this year. Now it's Walker with the left.
He is just going to go right at Pharrell Payne. There's no question in my mind that Payne's going to be a great player in this league. But Derek Walker.
Fred Hoiberg's going to bring in Oleg Koyenets, who doesn't play a ton. In fact, just 3 minutes a game, 7-foot center.
They're going to bring Koyenets in to really battle Payne, match his physicality. Well, that's two Huskers fighting for the ball there, and it ends up being a turnover.
Good look, but Garcia could not get it to drop.
And this is a huge game for Nebraska. You talk about NIT, you want to be above 500. You sit at 16 and 15 right now. You battle back 1-5-6. You win this game, and you're certainly making a case that that NIT committee. Wow.
Keisei Tominaga counted and the foul as we go to the under 12 media timeout.
I'm not sure Tominaga will have a tougher shot than this one all night long. Taking the bump from Carrington. We've seen him shoot from 32, but this time from in close. Taking the contact, drawing the foul, and getting the roll.
After Advil.
Let's dive in.
But what about your back?
It's fine!
Before Advil. Advil Dual Action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil Dual Action.
I'm a screen-addicted tween, and if I'm not posted on
Social media?
I don't feel seen. Hey, Mom, look. Mom? Oh, my God, Mom, you gotta look at this.
Nope. Keeping my eyes on the road is paying off with DriveWise. Post about that.
Boring. Oh, say cheese!
No, thank you.
Unblock me!
Stop.
That was awesome! Hey, what's your ad? I'll tag you. Get DriveWise from Allstate, save 40% for avoiding mayhem, like me.
Honey, garlic, 2 of Mother Nature's finest ingredients. We put them in a sweet and savory sauce that'll give your taste buds a talking to. Mama knows best. All new honey garlic for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
You said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into me, and I'll catch you, darling. We'll dance in the street like nobody's watching. It's just you and me, and the song.
Celebrate every kiss. Get 0 down special financing with the K Jewelers credit card.
What's a Walt Disney World thrill feel like? It's like... And it feels even better together. Disney thrills us like...
Tomorrow, the 2023 Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament, presented by TIAA, continues with 4 more matchups. And it all begins with a huge showdown between Michigan and Rutgers. Tomorrow at noon Eastern, only on Big Ten Network.
We are Nebraska. We were up before dawn, rolling up our sleeves, digging deep, sparking ingenuity, unlocking mysteries, solving the impossible, creating bold futures. And as the sun sets, we keep right on going. We are Nebraska, and we're not letting up.
Big Ten tournament presented by TIAA. Minnesota, Nebraska playing for the right to move on to face Maryland tomorrow night. Let's go in the huddle with Ben Johnson.
Hey, this is us. This is us, right? This is us, right? Look, there's so much game left, but we got to maintain this. This has to continue to be us. We got to own the paint. We got to do a much better job owning the paint. All right, much better job owning the paint.
Well, they've done a much better job also of taking care of the basketball. 4 turnovers at the under 4 timeout. None in that second 4-minute span. 4 points in the paint to Nebraska, but it is very clear Minnesota is looking to establish a real paint presence, whether that's with Battle, Dawson Garcia, or Pharrell Payne.
Tominaga completes a 3-point play. Andy, what do you have?
You know, with Tominaga, the interesting thing is he did go through senior day, but there's a good chance he comes back. There's an expectation that the NIL policy will change for foreign nationals to be able to make some money, and that could definitely influence the decision. I think both of you guys would agree. There may not be any more popular student athlete right now on that Nebraska campus than K-State Tominaga. He would be an absolute rock star if he came back next season.
100%. I mean, what he's done since February 1st, 20 points a game, and just the way that he plays and the joy that he plays the game with, he's a fan favorite.
He certainly is. He's a guy that you can tell every time he's out on the court, he's going to give it his all because he loves to play this game. But the question's going to be, is he going to be offered big-time money to play back home in Japan? And that's a very real possibility.
Because he's become a folk hero back home.
Certainly been impressive to see the way that he's been responded to both here and back at home in Japan.
Pretty good drive by Garcia, and after a slow start, we are tied at 13.
Back-to-back possessions where Dawson Garcia is just going full-on weight room and scoring in that paint.
Dawson Garcia, who's played at Marquette, then at North Carolina, now back for his home state school, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Tominaga can't get it for the mid-range.
Right back to Garcia, and they're just cross-screening him in here, and they are looking for him to go to work.
Tries to pass it, but Hoiberg slips in to steal it.
Great rotation, a little bit behind the play, but Hoiberg gets back and recovers and makes the steal.
Sam Hoiberg, who was born here in Chicago when his dad was playing for the Bulls in 2003, whips around a pass to Breidenbach, who's got gauze in his nose because it was bloody during the last time out. But he's picking up the foul after the miss.
Dawson Garcia with back-to-back buckets in that paint. 4 points here early on, but he is looking to post up Wilhelm Breidenbach. He's got the matchup where he wants to go to work, rip and go. Little body there. It's a strong move, and it's what you love to see from a guy who we know he can shoot it from the perimeter. But the tough buckets right there, his skill set on display.
Breidenbach, the beard, the moppy hair, the glasses, and the gauze in the nostril. That's a heck of a look.
Total package right now.
He takes a seat, and Jamison Battle puts it in the bucket. Minnesota has their first lead of the night.
These paint points have just totally flipped. It was 8-4 in favor of Nebraska. Now Minnesota, everything is happening in the paint. We heard Ben Johnson and his troops responding well.
Gophers started 0 of 5. Since then, they're 6 of 7. There's a foul on Carrington as we go back to that Battle bucket.
Time you can pin in for Jamison Battle. It's a ball screen, and then Payne's going to clean it up. Got Battle going to his left hand. If you're Ben Johnson and you're the Golden Gophers, you're feeling good about him getting there.
Battle with 5 so far, but his teammate, his freshman teammate, Braden Carrington, just picked up his second foul, so he goes to the bench. Lawrence. Yes.
The amount of ground that Jamarcus Lawrence covered there, he was running all over the place. Jaden Henley encountering the screen. Marcus Lawrence has been terrific since moving into the starting lineup.
Reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, coming off back-to-back 15-point performances. Around the arc. Battle, drive and kick, great find. Garcia, yes, pretty basketball.
A little zone action there, but again, that ball is moving. Hoiberg closing out, and Garcia with his size just right over the top.
Here goes Walker, and he's bumped on his way to the hoop.
Well, Jamarcus Lawrence, he's got the ball top of the key, and he is going to fly around here. Off this back screen, it's through the paint, and now the handoff is going to be for him. There's Henley encountering that screen. You're a little bit late getting out. Jamarcus Lawrence making you pay for it and drilling it from the top of the key.
Minnesota sharing the rock, 6 assists on their 7 made field goals. Meanwhile, Nebraska's already in the bonus. 7 fouls on Minnesota.
Derek Walker has just not been able to cash in at the line.
0 of 3. You remember last year he was so much better. He shot over 70% at the line. But 2 seasons ago he was under 50%, and that's near where he is right now.
It's that 3-2 zone again, and trying to beat it with the screen.
Henley in the corner. Well, that'll beat his zone.
Absolutely, shoot right over the top. This has not been a good three-point shooting team on the year. Just 32% on the season, but so far so good here tonight. 3 of 5.
And up a handful and almost getting the steal. Minnesota in control right now.
The ball has been moving. After that first 4-minute segment where the Gophers were turning it over, Talon Cooper, a little hesitation, get to the painted area. Henley getting away and knocking down a big one from that left corner. Minnesota coming right back with this offense.
A promise is a trust not to be broken.
I say your name.
Whether spoken with an oath
Do solemnly swear.
It's your first day. You know I got your back, right?
or sealed with a pinky. In 1922, a group of soldiers launched USAA with a promise to take care of their own. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission. Always.
Tony, Jimmy John's is calling it the new caprese salami pesto.
Let me see that.
I love you, no.
Jimmy John's new caprese salami pesto.
At a very young age, I realized I'm sitting in rooms and I would be the only woman all the time. Men can walk into a room and immediately have respect of their peers, but women, you have to earn it. I'm a trailblazer because I do things that other people think are impossible. Like the Mercedes-Benz retractable roof stadium, by starting my own women-based engineering firm in New York City, by creating a trail for young women to follow in my footsteps. When I graduated from college, I wanted to move out of Nebraska to work on sports stadiums and long-span structures spanning 700 feet. Those types of structures are really complicated, and that's what I wanted to work on. And it took me a really long time to get my foot in the door. But Nebraska really developed my work ethic, my persistence and trying hard and not giving up. Definitely very Nebraska traits. I'm Arlene Hatfield, a structural engineer and a Nebraska graduate.
The Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Download it and subscribe right now. Let's go in the Nebraska huddle with Fred Hoiberg.
Hey guys, listen, we got to get it going here, okay? We got to get this thing going. Right now we're stuck in mud a little bit. Get our contest going. Anytime that guy's in a corner, we got to get out. Rebound that thing. We're taking it out of the net too much right now. It's taking away anything in transition, okay? All right, we are in the bonus. Draw contact. Let's get to the free throw line, all right? But get that thing off the glass, push it down with pace, and let's get our movement.
He's absolutely right. Minnesota 8 of 14 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. They are in quite the rhythm, and Nebraska's defense just has not been good enough so far here early in this game.
Deep three, front of the iron for Battle. Talked about pace. Nebraska the last few years played really fast, not playing as fast.
No, they've certainly pumped the brakes. And when they were a defensive-minded team early in the season with Vanderbilt and Gary, they were really putting the brakes on. Now they're playing with a little more pace, and you cannot lose track of him. Tominaga off the screen, money from the top of the key.
The man they call the Japanese Steph Curry, who wears number 30 because of Steph, and he knocks down his first triple of the tournament. On the other end, Battle has the answer.
Play is made by Jaden Henley's cut. Nebraska not communicating off that switch, and with that you lose Jamison Battle, who I know his percentage not great on the year, but everyone in this league knows that he can get it going from three.
Now you said it, hasn't had the year he had hoped. As there's an offensive foul on Walker, and that's a big foul, because that's 2 on the senior.
Smart play there by Talon Cooper. Because this is the primary defender, it doesn't matter if you're in this charge arc. It's the Tominaga 3. That's that elevator play. He is flying right through it. Henley late. Tominaga knocking one down, top of the key.
So Walker sits with the 2 fouls. Into the post. Ola Joseph.
Good trap there by Breidenbach. He came over and really helped C.J. Wilcher.
5 to shoot. Henley underneath. Ola Joseph at the rim.
This is a nice play by Jaden Henley. Off the bounce, end of shot clock. making a play for somebody else. Tough dish, tough catch, a nice finish.
Well, we saw a Buckeye team that gives 4 freshmen heavy minutes, and that's what we're seeing with Minnesota here in the second game. First bucket of the night for C.J. Wilcher.
He has just been scorching from inside the arc. 3 of 5 games in double figures, 80% from 2. It's been a bit streaky from 3, but C.J. Wilcher last 5 games has been getting it done inside the arc.
Guy who started his career at Xavier for a season, now in his second year in Nebraska. Garcia around the arc. Henley with the left.
Jaden Henley, back-to-back plays now, off the bounce, getting to the basket, uncontested with that left hand.
Tominaga tried to even it, could not. Here come the Gophers. Cooper finding Henley. And Ola Joseph fumbled it. Wilcher on the deck. Tominaga sold that well as he bumped into Henley, and Henley just picked up his second.
It's been all about getting to the paint for Minnesota. Jaden Henley making something happen. Nice catch there by Ola Joseph, and then off the post trap, the ball is swinging. Henley again looking to drive it every time he catches the basketball. C.J. Wilcher, we talked about how good he's been from inside the arc. A floater there, throwing it up over the top of 2 Gopher defenders.
1-1. You know, you talked about Minnesota and their rebounding struggles all season long, but right now they're +7 on the glass.
Well, Nebraska not necessarily a good rebounding team ever, and without Derek Walker on the floor, they're going to have to really gang rebound. Wilhelm Breidenbach, Sam Griesel, those guys are going to have to get it done.
Tominaga gets both. Over to Andy Katz.
Yeah, the number 1 concern for Fred Hoiberg when I talked to him when he arrived here was rebounding. He thought that's where Minnesota had a clear advantage, and they had to make sure in some form that they basically competed on the boards.
Right now, Minnesota up 5, looking to add to it, and they do. Dawson Garcia, 30-23.
Fred Hoiberg is searching for answers defensively. Went 1-3-1 that time, and it was just a ball screen that kind of pick and pop to Garcia.
Breidenbach, that's not his game. 23% from deep. Whoa. Hello. Dawson Garcia. I mean, Jaden Henley would have needed a 10-foot ladder to grab that one.
That thing went 9 rows into the stands.
But they've been hot, 12 of their last 14 after starting 0-5. Thankfully, nobody had a cold beverage on their hand when that one went climbing up to the 4th row. Griesel. No. Breidenbach battling. Yes.
That's 100% what Wilhelm Breidenbach needs to be. And he had that 4-game stretch in December where he was getting on the offensive glass. Just think that when he's at his best, he is doing just that, making effort and hustle plays and keeping balls alive.
Fred Hoiberg said he hasn't been 100% last few weeks, battling plantar fasciitis. A strong bucket there, then a miss and a foul underneath, and it's on Nebraska. First on Wilcher. Fred Hoiberg and Nebraska trying to claw back, been playing so well down the stretch. They've won 5 of 6. But right now, the Gophers by a handful.
Auto Owners insures your car, because sometimes something from out of left field can literally come from out of left field. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you, saving you hundreds, even thousands with Inflation Buster. That's more road trips, more spa days, more of what you love. Plus, if rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase, you get exclusive savings when you refinance with Rate Drop Advantage. That's more cash in your pocket. Save when you buy today and refinance tomorrow. Don't miss these big savings. Visit inflationbuster.com.
When you see Wendy's Square Hamburger, you know you're getting the best. That's why Reggie Miller is celebrating our every move.
Boom, baby! There's the beef! You ain't getting this next door.
Reggie says celebrating Wendy's hamburgers is a team effort.
Look at that.
And he's right.
So,
yeah!
Catherine. In the building.
Sorry, Reg.
You like it.
When you want the best hamburger,
Squares the beef.
choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Dave's Single.
I love puppies.
Well, I love that I switched to Verizon. My other network used to drive me crazy.
Yeah. And with Welcome Unlimited for just $25, I love that we both got an awesome network and save money doing it.
I love that it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Okay, now what I love is that we got to keep our phones more savings.
But I love...
Hey, we're sitting on a sign here.
Switch and get Welcome Unlimited for $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. The savings that last on the network you want. Verizon.
You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Minnesota looking to Dawson Garcia early, and he has delivered 9.7 rebounds here in the first half. The Gophers have 14 points in the paint, and they have looked to him. He's driven the basketball. He's played with his back to the basket, but you know that Dawson Garcia also can go out on the perimeter and spread the floor with his jump shot. Pick and pop to the foul line, drilling it from 17 feet. He has had himself quite the first half, and the Gophers find themselves with a 5-point lead.
Dawson Garcia, you know, you talked about with Jamison battling some of his numbers going down, and some of that is just because you bring in a guy like Garcia and he's kind of become the alpha.
That's certainly been a part of it. I think it's been hard for Battle at times at the 3. I think the injury certainly threw him out of rhythm, but he had an advantage at the 4 as we see Ola Joseph off the inbounds play. Great job by Ben Johnson drawing it up. I think Battle's ability to play at the 4 and have that mismatch with bigger players, that's kind of gone away now that he's had to play the 3 with Ola Joseph at the 4, Garcia at the 5.
Wilcher, top of the arc, in and out. Well, Minnesota, who's obviously had their well-documented struggles, the injuries all season, but they're playing really sharp right now. They're shooting 62%. And that number goes up there. Garcia gives them their largest lead of the night.
Walker on the bench in foul trouble. He's going to check in right now. Breidenbach just has not had the answer. Simple cross screen, and Garcia going and making a play on the baseline.
The winner of this one will get 6-seeded Maryland tomorrow night. And it is all Gophers at the moment.
It's a tough matchup for Griesel, and he wants to post, and with Battle size, that pretty much equals there physically.
Inside, Garcia. Back outside, Battle. Tominaga tracks it down. Tominaga up top, Breidenbach. Offensive. His second.
Everything going the way of the Golden Gophers on both ends of the floor here. There's the cross screen. You see Breidenbach getting held up. Garcia getting to the left jump hook. Just feels like everything Ben Johnson's dialing up is working here for Minnesota.
Dawson Garcia getting back into a rhythm. He missed 5 games end of January, beginning of February with a bone bruise in his right foot. So it took him until just about a week ago to feel 100%. He looks 100% right now.
He's going to go right at Derek Walker. They could get him his 3rd foul. That would be a huge development.
Oh, he lost the ball, though, on the pass from Ola Joseph. Lawrence, you got to stop him, or he'll do just that.
That's a big shot from the freshman. He has not been bashful here tonight. Got the game started with a couple looks from 3, finally knocked one down, had the 4-point play, and then they really desperate for offense there in transition. You get a stop, you can finally get out and run, and Jamarcus Lawrence down the right side of the floor, nailing this 3 from the right wing.
Becomes the first Nebraska Cornhusker at double figures with his jersey number. He has 10, and that prompts the timeout by Ben Johnson. 1:49 to go in the first half, and when we hit halftime, Dave Revson, Rayfeld Davis, and Bruce Weber will get you the first half analysis. Looking ahead to tomorrow as well. A busy day. 4 games starting at noon Eastern. That's all coming up on the State Farm halftime report. Look, Jamarcus Lawrence for a lot of this season didn't have that big of a role, but last 4 double figures, and he's really come on into the season.
Well,
Rob.
in 11 games as starter, he's averaged almost 9 points a game. Been terrific the last 3. think this is a smart play here by Fred Hoiberg to get Derek Walker out of the game. You've cut this lead down to 6. You can live with Oleg Koyanets out on the floor to battle Garcia. It would be catastrophic for Walker to pick up his 3rd foul.
Lawrence moving into that starting lineup after the injury to Emmanuel Bandeveld that you mentioned earlier. Henley too strong. And a rebound coming down to Nebraska.
This is old school basketball from the Gophers. I mean, it's smash mouth, it's high-low. They're looking to play through that post.
Wilcher driving. Whoa, how did he do that? From underneath the basket, he flipped it up with a right hand and drew the contact.
It's like going against the grain here. He is under the rim, but somehow finds a way, puts enough English on this basketball, draws the contact, and just reaches all the way back. Just don't understand how strong you have to be to make a shot like that to even get that thing to the rim.
He said he feels so much better this year. He lost 15 pounds in the offseason, but he kept the muscle. He just lost some of that baby fat. So now a 6-0 Nebraska run. Back to a 1-possession game. Lawrence almost stole it and almost came over here in our lap. Were you ready for that?
I was.
I don't think you were. I was about to duck underneath the table. I know that.
I sat here and just watched. What was I not ready about with this play?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be a birthday lap dance for you, though, here. Back to live action. Cooper from the wing. Yes! And Minnesota back up 6.
You could wonder that screen. And Talon Cooper steps back 37% from 3 on the year.
How does it feel to be 34, by the way?
Just rub it in.
Do you feel any worse? I mean, you're only 9 years older than Derek Walker. So.
Pretty crazy.
Hoiberg. Oh, good body control for Sam Hoiberg.
He was not unwilling to mix it up in the paint and the win at Iowa on Sunday. He will drive in there, make things happen. Sam Hoiberg continues to thrive in his new role off the bench.
Yeah, moving into that rotation again on January 25th after that Bandeveld knee injury. Final 10 seconds of the first half. Talon Cooper with a kick out. Battle off the heel, and Nebraska gets back within 4. But Minnesota, all things considered, Rob, they shoot 58%. Pretty solid first half.
Absolutely. They had it going there for a while. Felt like Nebraska tightened their defense there end of the half. The plays like that by Jamarcus Lawrence, extra effort to get back in there and contest. That's what it's going to take. But the Golden Gophers, Ben Johnson, has got to be ecstatic with the way they played.
Andy's with Ben Johnson.
Well, let me ask him if he was ecstatic with how you guys played. You're down 8-0, and then you flip the switch. How do you feel?
I feel good. You know, a rough start. We just had to settle in, and we talk about getting a rhythm on offense and defense, and we just took us a little too long to get into that rhythm.
Where did this confidence come from over the last week and a half?
I just think throughout the year, you know, the different adversity we faced, our guys just kept showing up. And you build confidence in that when you're doing the right thing and you do it over time. And so now I think, you know, they're really clicking. And now we gotta finish the deal. There's a long half left, and they're a really good team.
Thanks, Ben.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Robbie, I asked. There's your answer.
Good job, Andy. Minnesota, 15 made field goals, 14 assists in that first half. And the 14-seeded Gophers leading Nebraska 37-33. State Farm halftime report with Dave Repson and the guys coming up in just a moment.
Jake from State Farm, I really want that personal price plan. So here's the deal. Our crew strategically stashes snacks on game day.
Jenny, you don't need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Really?
Hey, Jenny, you got any peanuts in there? Bam, nice pass.
Nacho?
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Buffalo Ranch. 2 titans of sauce. Brought together in a spicy, tangy, buttery sauce super team. So good, it's not even fair. All new Buffalo Ranch for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
My advice in this one very specific case is to definitely put all your Reese's eggs in one basket. And that your basket be enormous. Oh, and that your basket have wheels so you can roll it around from place to place.
Why did I choose Safeway? I love my electric car. So when my windshield got cracked, I trusted the experts at Safelight. With their state-of-the-art technology, they replaced the windshield, recalibrated the car's camera, and then recycled my old glass. I found out Safelight recycles over 3 million windshields a year. Great job, thank you. Replace, recalibrate, recycle. I count on Safelight.
Safelight Repair, Safelight Replace.
After Advil,
Feeling better?
On top of the world!
before Advil. Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. When pain comes for you, come back fast with Advil liquid gels.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
Halftime in Chicago, and a heck of a half for the Gophers. Dawson Garcia has 11, Minnesota shooting 58% and on top 37-33. Welcome you into State Farm Halftime Report. Dave Revson, Rayfeld Davis, Bruce Weber. We might be a little distracted. Red Panda is right behind us, but let's try to focus on the task at hand. And Minnesota was focused after a bit of a rough start. Nebraska got out to the 8-0 lead, but since then, guys, been impressive here from Minnesota.
I'm really impressed at the way Minnesota has been able to share the basketball. 14 assists on their 15 made field goals. They're doing a great job of passing out a post double, skipping the basketball, playing off a closeout. But in games like this, when you want to compete, your big dogs, they got to step up and play. Dawson Garcia, Jamison Battle combined for 19 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Cooper has 7 assists, just a 1 turnover. The big dog stepped up, and that's why they got this lead.
Yeah, you know, for Minnesota, I talked about early, you got to attack Nebraska's defense from the middle, and they are 7 for 8 on layups. So they've been able to get the high-low. They've been able to get the straight-line drives. It's been effective. The two big dogs have done well, but Jaden Henley with 7, add that. That's the difference in the game. For Nebraska, you heard Fred Hoiberg in the huddle. He said, we're playing in mud. They just didn't have a good defensive step. They weren't quick. They weren't getting to their spots on rotation, and yeah, they picked it up, the intensity. Obviously, Jamar Lawrence was really good and gave them that boost and spark to get back in the game.
That was the thing that really stood out to me was defensively, they did not provide a whole lot of resistance here. And this is not a great offensive team by any stretch for Minnesota, but about 1.2 points per possession for the Gophers here in the first half. So give Minnesota a ton of credit. Really good performance, and they find themselves up by 4. Trying to pull off a bit of an upset here on opening day. This is the second of 2 games, and if the first game is any indication, we are in for an outstanding week. Ohio State and Wisconsin was a great one. Highlights coming up.
Half. 1 and 2. 2 and 4. Half of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So let's retire inequality. Let's step forward together and let's rise together because dignity, security, retirement is for all.
When Wingstop made a chicken sandwich, you know they wouldn't make just one. Now you can have 12 new sauce and toss favorites, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, and OG hot. So try the new chicken sandwich at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
It's out there. It's in us. From every corner.
in your backyard, in our home court. From every Big Ten school, in your hearts, in our homes. If you look for it, it's impossible not to see it. If you live for it, it's impossible not to love it. It's a big nation. It's the Big Ten Network. This is big.
What's a Walt Disney World thrill feel like? It's like, and it feels even better together. Disney thrills us like.
Sunday on Fox.
We are ready to duel in the desert. I'm gonna light it up.
The NASCAR Cup Series fires into Phoenix. On this track, talent is forged and superstars are made. It's here in the Valley of the Sun
Now this is picking up.
that the best of the best look to rise again. NASCAR Cup Series, Phoenix, Sunday at 3 Eastern on Fox.
If you're looking for the biggest Big Ten experience, then welcome home. The Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Personalized with your pass so you get your favorite Big Ten sports and schools streaming and on demand. We're the home of compelling stories, the iconic games, hundreds of exclusive events you can't find anywhere else. Because when it comes to the Big Ten sports you love, there's no plus like home. Only on the Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Download and subscribe now.
Halftime on the Big Ten Network is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Game one, Ohio State and Wisconsin. Badgers came in very much on the bubble, really needing this win to feel secure, but Justice Suing and company had other ideas. Buckeyes led by as many as 27. Back come the Badgers, though. Tyler Wall, the banked three, 19-10 for him, part of a 19-2 run. They got as close as 4. 5-point game here. Wall on the drive, cannot convert, and the Buckeyes do hang on. They win it by the final of 65-57. Ohio State moving on to face Iowa, and now Wisconsin awaits its fate on Sunday from the selection committee. Buckeyes really took it to them, Bruce, played with unbelievable energy.
Yeah, the start was Bruce Thornton, did not play like a freshman. He got him going. Sean McNeil had a big-time game. And then at the end, it was Suing. They make the run at him. Wisconsin gets some energy, starts playing defense. Suing made big plays down the stretch.
Held Wisconsin at 34% from the field. Ohio State offensively, they just sought out matchups. They just found whoever they wanted to attack the basket. They found out the matchup that they wanted to go at and got straight to the rim. McNeil and Suing combining for 33 points in the game, only missed 5 shots between the two of them. This is a time where your seniors have to step up, and the seniors did in a big fashion.
Ohio State playing its best basketball in this calendar year now, in this recent stretch, winning 3 of their last 4. Again, they get a shot here at the Hawkeyes, a team they beat once this year. They split the 2 games. Meanwhile, Wisconsin awaiting that fate from the tourney selection committee. They do have some impressive things on their resume, including 6 quad 1 wins, but we will see. The net is not very good. Wisconsin, of course, has been to 22 of the last 23 tourneys. They will await that fate on Sunday. In the meantime, we are awaiting the second half here in Chicago. Jamarcus Lawrence, the freshman, continues to impress. He's got 10. Minnesota, though, up 4 on the Huskers.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you with Inflation Buster. Plus, if rates drop within 3 years of purchase, you can refinance with exclusive savings with Rate Drop Advantage. Don't miss these big savings. Visit inflationbuster.com.
You said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into me and I'll catch you, darling. We'll dance in the street like nobody's watching. It's just you and me and the song.
Celebrate every kiss. Get 0 down special financing with the K Jewelers credit card.
When you see Wendy's Square Hamburger, you know you're getting the best. Guess who else knows that? Reggie Miller.
I got 5 burgers coming up.
Heard ya. Hamburgers, Willie. Hamburgers.
Hamburgers, Willie?
No.
Okay.
When you want a hamburger worth celebrating,
Square's the beef.
a ballet studio, an architecture firm, and homemade barbecue sauce. They're called small businesses, but to the people who build them, there's nothing small about them. That's why at T-Mobile for Business, you'll save more than $1,000 versus Verizon. And with Price Lock Guarantee, we'll never raise your rate plan, so you can keep your focus on toe turns and making sure the sauce is extra spicy. At T-Mobile, there are no small businesses.
A PET scan is the gold standard for detecting Alzheimer's. It costs around $6,000, where our method is probably more in the $100 range. Alzheimer's patients eventually have plaques forming in their brain. The PET scan relies on the presence of these plaques, but that's at a late stage. We need something that will pick up Alzheimer's before these plaques are formed.
We have developed an eye imaging method which can serve as a biomarker for early detection of Alzheimer's disease.
We use the eye because the eye is a gateway to the brain. Without being invasive, we can look at the retina and we have a source of measuring what's going on in the brain.
We like to have this technique in every doctor's office for routine eye exam.
If we catch it early enough, these patients could be good candidates for drugs that are being made now for early Alzheimer's treatments.
Halftime on the Big Ten Network is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Red Panda entertained the fans. Here's what it looked like from the cheap seats. She never fails to come through. Gophers by 4. Second half coming up.
And what if I need help picking a plane?
State Farm's here to help.
What up, Bo?
Okay, guys.
What if he's not actually 7'4"?
We good? Yeah, we good. Good work today, boys. Oh, it's 11.
At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs. Get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tony, Jimmy John's is calling it the new caprese salami pesto.
Let me see that.
I love you, no.
Jimmy John's new caprese salami pesto.
Tomorrow, the 2023 Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament, presented by TIAA, continues with 4 more matchups. And it all begins with a huge showdown between Michigan and Rutgers. Tomorrow at noon Eastern, only on Big Ten Network.
Here's my dip.
Yes, sweet!
Did you bring your 7-layer dip?
Yeah, but it's just 7 layers of beans.
Resourceful. Or did you invite all your friends to watch your favorite team?
They're losing, but that's okay.
So sweet, so unique. Baby, there's nothing better. I bet you probably done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper. Did you pretend to like sports, or your girlfriend's dad would like you better?
What? No, I love sports.
Me too.
Everyone's done something that deserves a Dr. It's what you deserve.
My advice in this one very specific case is to definitely put all your Reese's eggs in one basket. And that your basket be enormous. Oh, and that your basket have wheels so you can roll it around from place to place.
Saturday, Michigan and Ohio State face off. Then Minnesota collides with Michigan State. The 2023 Big Ten Hockey Tournament semifinals begin Saturday at 6:30 Eastern, only on Big Ten Network.
With Flonase, allergies don't have to be scary. Spraying Flonase daily gives you long-lasting, non-drowsy relief. Psst, psst. Flonase, all good.
Honey, garlic, 2 of Mother Nature's finest ingredients. We put them in a sweet and savory sauce that'll give your taste buds a talking to. Mama knows best. All new honey garlic for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Big Ten basketball tournament is presented by TIAA, the official retirement planning partner of the Big Ten. Certainly hope Red Panda's not retiring anytime soon. Fantastic. And the crowd was on their feet for her here at intermission. Top performers in the first half. Dawson Garcia was great, 11-7. Jamarcus Lawrence, 10 points to lead the way for Nebraska. Brandon and Robbie back with you courtside. You know, Minnesota, first 3 minutes, they turned the ball over 4 times. Rest of the half, only 4 turnovers, and they shot the ball well.
And I thought their ball movement for much of the first half, you take away the first 4-minute segment, was excellent. The way that thing was popping around the perimeter, you're getting multiple drives, you're getting the basketball moving from side to side. After that, another drive to the basket. Henley paying it off at the rim. But it was just multiple players making plays. The ball is popping around, and you have to think Ben Johnson happy with the offensive execution after the first 4 minutes of the first half.
And Lawrence had 10 for the Nebraska Cornhuskers in that first half.
This is what he's been doing here, knocking shots down from the perimeter. Sunday in the win in Iowa City, 15 points, 5 of 8 from 3. Jamarcus Lawrence, tough misses here early, but finding the rhythm late in the first half.
Andy, what did Fred Hoiberg tell you?
Well, he actually was somewhat pleased with the way they played on the offensive end of the court toward the latter part of the first half, but what he stressed in that locker room was a sense of urgency on the defensive end. He says they absolutely have to get better every possession.
Giving up the 58% shooting to the Gophers in the first half. Good shot fake and the finish. Great play there from Jamison Battle.
The execution, Joshua Ola-Joseph setting a really nice flare screen. With that, Battle able to free himself and knock down the corner 3.
Battle has 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And Talon Cooper, speaking of assists, he already has 8 for Minnesota. Wilcher in the lane, fading, good block by Ola-Joseph.
A length right there by Ola-Joseph, moving his feet, staying in the play, and getting a fingertip on that ball.
Kid from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, grew up just 20 miles from campus, getting to play for his hometown team. Inside, what a feed, and there's Ola-Joseph throwing it down, and Robbie, that's the 9th assist for Cooper.
Just a dime from Talon Cooper. Look at the defense off, Nebraska breaking down, and Ola-Joseph going up and hanging on rims.
Cooper, by the way, second in the Big Ten in that assist category behind Jalen Pickett of Penn State. So Minnesota has thrown the first punch of the second half here. Cooper between the legs, fader. Rebound coming down to Lawrence. Tominaga hit the 1-3, otherwise been pretty quiet, making some noise right there.
Gotta be worried about Tominaga on the perimeter, and that's the Jets right there by Casey, blowing right by Jaden Henley. Well, hesitation, get those eyes to the rim like you might pull, and then just a blur to the basket.
Becomes the second Cornhusker in double figures with 10. Cooper, extra pass, Battle, rolls around and on.
They're just getting whatever they want. Throwing into the post, that double's coming, and the ball continuing to move.
On the other end, a challenge at the rim. Griesel's still down. 5 on 4. And they take advantage. Ola-Joseph.
Cooper might have, I'm not sure what the Big Ten tournament record is for assists, but he very well may have that in his sights.
And Tominaga on the other, boy, the offense, both sides really picking up. Cooper, 595 career assists now, by the way. He's closing in on 600. 3 years at Morehead State, now finishing things off in Minnesota. Foul on Jamarcus Lawrence.
It's been quite the start here to the second half. Ola-Joseph doing a great job of utilizing his length there. C.J. Wilcher, who's been great from inside the arc over the last 5 games, and he's getting to that fadeaway jumper, but Ola-Joseph, other ideas.
Boy, Minnesota just on fire right now. Largest lead of the game at 10.
They're operating their offense like they're running 5 on 0. I mean, it just feels like there is no resistance from Nebraska.
Meanwhile, Walker can't get it, but he follows it up.
They clear out that entire side. 2-man game with Derek Walker. Love the fact that he stayed in the play. Didn't bother him that he missed the first shot. Went back, got the offensive board, and finished with the left hand.
This Nebraska defense is struggling tonight, but this year, compared to the last couple, they've been so much better. Talon Cooper slips. Got to force it up. Nebraska coming the other way with Tominaga.
And Walker, boy, just couldn't get in the basketball. Walker on the rim run.
And now Cooper leaving it for Henley. He knocks it down, and Cooper has his 11th assist, and the lead is 11.
That's a 5-point swing right there. Would have been a Derek Walker layup. Instead, another Talon Cooper assist. Eyes in the back of his head, just dropping it back.
And that's actually his 12th assist, and then Wiltshire knocks down a 3 of his own.
We got the defense optional game here going here in the second half. I mean, both offenses simply on fire.
Feels like a little NBA game here in the NBA arena where the Bulls play. Cooper, yes. Everybody hitting.
This is insane.
It's fun to watch, though.
That's good. Oh, come on, CJ.
Well, broadcaster jinx.
Man, every other shot's gone down.
What can Minnesota, or rather Nebraska, Rob, do better on this end right now?
Well, they're really getting burned on the post trap. It's putting them in rotation, but I think that they want to protect Derek Walker. He's got that foul trouble, so I understand why Nebraska's bringing it.
And on the other end, Sam Griesel drives, and he gets fouled, and we get a media timeout. Hot shooting here in Chicago.
And Minnesota 6 of 10 here to start the second half. Dawson Garcia not going to guard him. He's just going to load this thing up and let it fly. Then off the turnover, Keisei Tominaga, tough pass. Talon Cooper, beautiful feed. Right back to Jalen Henley. Cooper continuing to find ways to impact the game. This time the mid-range Minnesota in quite the rhythm on offense.
I'm your glitchy Wi-Fi, and I've decided, well, if you're on vacation, I am too. Which means your smart home isn't so smart.
Sprinkler on.
And now I'm sending mixed signals to your garage. But if you haven't bundled your home in auto coverage, trying to unpack this isn't going to be too much fun. Hey, check the router. So get Allstate. Be better protected from mayhem while saving up to 25% when you bundle home and auto.
My wife got old, so it's time to put her in a home.
It's the home I've always dreamed about.
I've been waiting to get old for years. And that means I can get my UX people started on that app I need to develop.
I'm getting old right now. With an expert to explain the differences between bond prices and bond yields.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter.
You're never too old to get old.
She's old.
Old National Bank. Get old.
Baseball's biggest names play for national pride.
Here we go. Buckle up.
The World Baseball Classic comes to Fox. Great Britain, United States, Saturday 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
July 15th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Runners can choose between a 10K or 5K option, followed by a fantastic tailgate party featuring mascots, cheerleaders, food, and more. All participants receive a school-specific t-shirt and Big Ten medal. And if you can't make it to Chicago, you can still represent your school and participate virtually wherever you live. Register at btnbig10k.com or scan the QR code on the screen right now.
Back in Chicago, telling you about the BTN Big 10K returning to Soldier Field in Chicago, July 15th. Scan the QR code or register right now, btnbig10k.com. 11th time the tournament has been at the United Center. When it was in Indianapolis 2 years ago, Mike Smith had a Big Ten record 15 assists in a game for Michigan, and Cooper was still 15 minutes left, 3 away from that record.
At the rate he's picking up assists, this record's going to be gone by about the 10-minute mark left in the game. He is just been unbelievable here in the second half. 7 at the half, and already with 12.
Minnesota's in his zone. Sam Griesel, meanwhile, steps to the line and knocks down the first. A kid born in Lincoln, Nebraska in March of 2000, went to Lincoln East High School, but didn't have any Power 5 offers out of high school, so he goes to North Dakota State, excels for 4 seasons, and gets to return home to finish his college career.
What an impact that he has had on this program. Certainly a kid that's just a winner. He defends. He's got great size. Offensively, he's really come into his own. I look at all these transfers. Vandemel, Gary, those guys are guys that make winning plays. They defend. They've been at successful programs.
Garcia went crashing into the first set of seats here, but he's okay.
A bit of a wild pass, and Dawson Garcia, when he saw that track that our camera's on right there and left his feet, and I think he realized it about right there. His job by avoiding that and avoiding something that we obviously don't want to see, an injury.
Another impact transfer, Garcia. Walker with a right.
To readjust right there. I thought he might have lost the basketball. Pharrell Payne going straight up, but Derek Walker with the tough finish off of the up and under.
Walker with 10. 3 Nebraska players now in double figures. That's a high pass, but it gets to Cooper. Payne, offensive, charging over Walker. Well, that was going to be 3 fouls on somebody, and it's 3 on Payne.
Here's Derek Walker catching that ball in the high post and driving the freshman up and under, finding the angle, readjusting, and then just a smart play on that high-low. He's backing off Pharrell Payne, so Payne puts it on the floor. It's a little over-aggressive, goes right to the chest of Walker.
So a little surge here for Nebraska, looking to add to it. Blocked by Garcia, and then a block by Cooper.
Thought Walker got away with the travel, but Pharrell Payne coming over with the help defense.
Through the hands of Garcia, and back to Nebraska it goes.
This is simply one-on-one. Walker now testing Garcia. Gets blocked here. He shuffled his feet when he pivoted, but the help coming and the rejection there on the play.
Boy, he's tough to stop at 6'9", 250.
I think with Pharrell Payne guarding him, they are just going to play 5 out, and he is going to look to drive.
Tominaga got bumped, but no whistle.
Pop in the face.
He's back at midcourt and some pain.
I think he's going to have to see somebody here.
He's talking to Larry Scarrato, saying, hey, I got fouled there. Got hit by Braden Carrington.
Carrington trying to blow up the handoff, and there's the shot right to the nose. They're going to review it, but it's going to be, it's unfortunate. There is contact there, but it's not like they can change it over to be a foul.
Yeah, it's just incidental. So they look to see if there's anything flagrant, but highly unlikely. Nebraska has won 4 straight in this series. They swept the season January 7th and February 25th. Nebraska trying to work from behind right now, and they do say nothing flagrant here. You know, you said it at the top of the broadcast, but Nebraska's playing for a lot. Last 3 years were a struggle. They won a combined 9 Big Ten games. They've won 9 this season, playing for a possible spot in the NIT. Left hand, Sam Griesel.
In the air, the adjustment there by Griesel, getting downhill off the ball screen, and you're absolutely right. For them to make this type of run, they've won 5 of 6. Make it to the postseason, maybe play in the NIT, that would be a great finish, and I'm sure the Nebraska fan base would pack that place for NIT play.
Yeah, no question. In the corner, off the mark for Battle. I mean, Nebraska, Pinnacle Bank Arena is a great home venue. They pack that place, over 14,000 pretty much every night. There's a bump and a foul on Carrington. Back to the Griesel bucket that made it a 4-point game.
He turns down this ball screen. He's got a full head of steam against Battle. And then as Garcia comes over, he leaves his feet from almost outside the lane with that right foot outside. Corrects in the air and finds a way to score it.
Walker Battle for the board comes down to Cooper.
Terrell Payne is holding his own down there, moving his feet and giving Derek Walker some problems.
Over the top, there's Payne on the offensive end.
Doing his work early. He's got Walker in transition off the layup that Walker missed and pushing him up the lane. Good recognition, throw it over the top.
Much like Ohio State for Minnesota. 4 freshmen over 20 minutes a game. You keep that core together, this could be a much improved team next year.
And that's going to be the key, is keeping that core together. They have certainly made some improvements here over the last couple of weeks, and Minnesota in a great spot here. Terrell Payne doing his work, sealing Derek Walker up the lane, and the pass is there. Minnesota loving this smash mouth basketball. Little high-low action for the Gophers.
The buzzer beater, that moment when time stands still. Our collective breath held as the ball hovers above the rim. But almost a third of those shots were set up by a passer who made the smart choice. Throwing an assist takes trust, IQ, and total confidence in your decision. And the greatest one? My pass to Leitner in '92 wasn't too bad. Continental, the smart choice in tires.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you with Inflation Buster. Plus, if rates drop within 3 years of purchase, you can refinance with exclusive savings with Rate Drop Advantage. Don't miss these big savings. Visit inflationbuster.com.
Hey, oh.
A promise is a trust not to be broken.
I say your name.
Whether spoken with an oath,
Do solemnly swear.
It's your first day. You know I got your back, right?
or sealed with a pinky. In 1922, a group of soldiers launched USAA with a promise to take care of their own. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission. Always.
When you see Wendy's Square Hamburger, you know you're getting the best. Guess who else knows that? Reggie Miller.
I got 5 burgers coming up.
Heard ya. Hamburgers, Willie. Hamburgers.
Hamburgers, Willie? No. Okay.
When you want a hamburger worth celebrating,
Where's the beef?
This is a 30-day-old plant of corn. It's not battery-powered. It doesn't have a 300-mile range, but it's vital in our fight against climate change, reducing 46% of carbon emissions compared to gasoline, and producing clean-burning ethanol, a fuel for 98% of the vehicles on the road today. Corn ethanol is the climate solution we need now.
Big Ten tournament hockey style semifinals coming up. Buckeyes and the Wolverines and the Gophers and Spartans. Live coverage beginning Saturday, 6:30 Eastern. Ben Johnson moments ago.
Hey, play with a lead and let's stretch the lead. Nobody says they have to climb back in the game, right? Build another lead like we've done. All right, which is more at halftime. We came out, we built the lead. Like, let's do that again. Mindset, hey, don't worry about time and score. Let the game and the time just run out because you're so consumed with every single possession.
Well, as he finishes that, Walker puts it in the bucket, and we've got a 4-point game.
It's very clear that Derek Walker is going to go right at Terrell Payne.
And meanwhile, Dawson Garcia taking it to the basket, drawing the contact on Breitenbach. That's his third foul.
Each team's starting center has really established themselves as the alpha dog offensively in this game. Dawson Garcia, whether it's been on the perimeter or inside the paint, he's been the guy for the Gophers here tonight.
$15 now for Dawson Garcia. Chose Marquette over Indiana out of high school. Again, he's from the Twin Cities area. Played for Steve Wojciechowski there as a freshman, then to North Carolina. Then he came home last year due to some family medical issues, and now playing for the Golden Gophers. leading his team tonight up 6.
They're just looking to get Payne in space and let Walker create.
Drive it inside, no good for Lawrence. And scooped up by Garcia. Garcia also has 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Battle, NBA range, short. And now Lawrence, he thought he was fouled. The other way, Carrington with it.
It went down like he was tripped, but it's hard to tell if that was over someone's foot or just stubbed his toe on the floor.
Garcia with the off right hand. How about Payne on the offensive glass?
A grown man rebound. Garcia putting so much pressure on the defense, driving by Breidenbach. Help comes over and no one home for Pharrell Payne.
Lead back to 8. Make it 6. End of the line goes Jamarcus Lawrence.
This is the beauty of allowing Derek Walker to create with the cut right here by Lawrence. It's a good enough passer to be able to zip that thing in there, bounce pass. Jamarcus Lawrence putting the brakes on, taking the contact, and now an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Andy Katz, what do you have?
You know, this is to Robbie's point about these core groups on both squads. Technically, from Nebraska, only Griesel, Bandamel, and Walker can't come back next season. From Minnesota, technically only Tara Samuels. Jamison Battle could definitely come back. He may go pro. Talon Cooper definitely could come back. So the core groups of both of these teams could be back in the Big Ten next season.
Yeah, and Nebraska with a lot to build on. Obviously, Minnesota has some room to grow at 2-17 this year, but they played so much better down the stretch.
Wow, a ton of contact there.
No whistle. It'll stay on this end. Just 7 to shoot.
Nice cut by Jamison Battle. Defender got caught ball watching. He just zips it to the rim.
Jamison Battle has not made a declaration. A lot of people think that he will try to go pro. He graduates in May in a couple of months. Garcia short, Grease for the rebound.
Face out, face out. Now come.
Greasel. A bump before the shot. They say the foul on the floor.
And normally for Greasel, he'll bring the ball up and take that into the post, and he's got someone who's 6 foot, 6'2". But tonight with Minnesota going with Battle on him, it's really negated Greasel's impact of using the post as a way to create.
6 fouls on Minnesota, just 2 on Nebraska. Great pass by Walker. Greasel blocked. They'll reset, shot clock at 7. Greasel driving, getting inside, and it is a foul. And that's a big one. Now Jamison Battle is dealing with 4 fouls here with still 9:31 remaining.
It looked like Battle lost his balance or maybe his footing here, and he was just totally up underneath Greasel as he went to shoot that ball.
Looking over at Ben Johnson, wondering if he's going to bring out one of his leaders, Jamison Battle, but he hasn't made a call to the bench yet. Carrington also has 4. Payne has 3.
I think right now Ben Johnson is contemplating just leaving him out there. At this point in the season, what do you really have to lose? It's a guy that's played a ton of games for you. Tell him you can't pick up your 5th, but we're rolling with you.
He never comes off the floor, Rob. Battle in the last 12 games has sat 16 minutes.
3rd minutes in the Big Ten this season.
He's got it here, and he knocks it down.
That's why you leave him in, because he can be a real player offensively. Tominaga trying to get the contest from the back, but did not impact Jamison Battle whatsoever on that 15-footer.
Greasel, that's his 5th. Battle just fouled out of the game. Ben Johnson cannot believe the call. He thought it was a charge.
That is the risk you're running. Honestly, I think it was the right play. They're going to have to keep Ben Johnson from getting a technical foul here. His assistants are holding it back, and here we go.
Oh, they just teed him up. Larry Scarato made the call, and he was calling for Larry. He wanted to talk to him, but then Kelly Pfeiffer.
He might get another one. They got to keep him away from the officials here.
Kelly Pfeiffer assessed the technical. Now everybody trying to restrain the 42-year-old head coach.
I was watching the whole thing, and Kelly Pfeiffer did give Ben Johnson a chance. He told him to back up, and then Ben obviously surged forward, and that's when he teed him up. So keep an eye on Ben. He's still going at Kelly Pfeiffer here.
Boy, just a tough time to get that technical. Now you put Tominaga at the line, an 85% shooter for a pair. And usually during a game, there's one or two moments that you just say, circle that. This feels like a circle that
totally
moment.
Is. Now we'll see here. Battle going under. Boy, that's a tough one to follow out on there.
So Battle is done with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Riesel lowering that shoulder. I think very easily could have been a charge, but those 50-50 calls, block charge, you're at the mercy of the official there. It's a tough spot to be in when you've got 4 fouls.
So he's calling for Larry. He wanted to talk to Larry Scarato. So this is going to be possibly a 4-point swing. Andy, you have more?
I'd be interested in hearing this from Robbie, because I really think, Robbie, this is a cumulative thing here with Ben Johnson. He's finally get these guys playing their best basketball. They got a chance to knock off Nebraska, and then you lose your leading scorer, your best player, Jamison Battle. I sensed a lot of frustration in that moment here, sitting right behind Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
what do you think, Robbie?
I think it's been a frustrating season by all means for Minnesota. You're playing better basketball. You've got Nebraska on the ropes, and that call goes against you. I think you're absolutely right.
And it's down to a 1-possession game. Cooper, he's been the distributor tonight, and he can't get the bucket there. And it belongs to Nebraska.
Just feel like momentum has totally shifted here, and we'll see if Nebraska can build on that.
Nebraska has not led since it was 16-15. 11 minutes into this game. Griesel driving on Ola Joseph. Can't get the reverse.
Got all the way there. It's one that Griesel's got to finish the job on.
Talon Cooper been so spectacular dishing the basketball. Got those 12 assists, 3 off the tournament record. Gets a screen, looks to fire, short on the 3-point. Oh, Garcia fell hard. Thankfully, he gets up quickly. The foul is on Sam Griesel of Nebraska. Ooh. Well, a lot is on the line, to say the least. It's win or go home for Nebraska and Minnesota.
Cashback is good, but double cashback is even better. Discover matches all the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year, which is cashback at its best.
My advice in this one very specific case is to definitely put all your Reese's eggs in one basket. And that your basket be enormous. Oh, and that your basket have wheels so you can roll it around from place to place. Psst, psst.
With Flonase, allergies don't have to be scary. Spray Flonase Sensimus daily for non-drowsy, long-lasting relief in a scent-free gentle mist. Psst, psst. Flonase, all good.
Buffalo Ranch. 2 titans of sauce brought together in a spicy, tangy, buttery sauce super team. So good, it's not even fair. All new Buffalo Ranch for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
At a very young age, I realized I'm sitting in rooms and I would be the only woman all the time. Men can walk into a room and immediately have respect of their peers, but women, you have to earn it. I'm a trailblazer because I do things that other people think are impossible. Like the Mercedes-Benz retractable roof stadium, by starting my own women-based engineering firm in New York City, by creating a trail for young women to follow in my footsteps. When I graduated from college, I wanted to move out of Nebraska to work on sports stadiums, and long-span structures spanning 700 feet, those types of structures are really complicated, and that's what I wanted to work on. And it took me a really long time to get my foot in the door. But Nebraska really developed my work ethic, my persistence and trying hard and not giving up. Definitely very Nebraska traits. I'm Arlene Hatfield, a structural engineer and a Nebraska graduate.
Less than 8 to play. Minnesota, Nebraska. Winner will face Maryland tomorrow night. Let's go in the Nebraska huddle with Fred Hoiberg.
Momentum right now. Keep it. Okay, let's go out and get a stop right here. Push the ball down the floor. All right, push it. All right, keep our movement down here on this end. Movement's been phenomenal this half. All right, keep doing a great job of moving it.
Back to a one-possession game. They've clawed. They were down 11, but they're playing much better here the last 5 minutes.
And it just feels like the foul out of Battle and the technical foul on Ben Johnson. You said circle it, and it's 100% right. Nebraska has the momentum right now. Can Minnesota take it back?
Wow, that's a big shot right there from Talon Cooper.
He just screened him in that corner. He's ready to let it fly. Talon Cooper has had himself a ball game here tonight.
Double-double, 10 points, 12 assists. Walker rips and drives. Can't get it.
It's just gone right at Pharrell Payne. I think the freshman big has done a pretty nice job moving his feet and contesting these Derek Walker drives.
Minnesota, after that last bucket, they have a season-high 23 assists.
Here's the high-low. And you've got double duck-ins here with Ola Joseph and Payne. Garcia distributing up top.
Double team around the arc. 2 to shoot. Garcia. And that's going to be a turnover.
That was textbook right there by Sam Hoiberg, closing out and taking Dawson Garcia out of rhythm. But on this under out of bounds play, let's take a look at tonight's Play with a Plan, brought to you by TIAA.
Okay, Rob. Have a night.
Thank you. They just screen him in right here. Look at Dawson Garcia doing it with the post up, and it's Talon Cooper drilling it from that left corner.
Very well done.
Yeah, your job's not that hard.
No, it's not. And Tominaga says three-pointers aren't hard. Back to a three-point game. 17. Again, he's been averaging 20 since February 1st.
Awful quiet 17.
Because he's only hit 2 threes. That's usually where he makes his hay. There's a foul on the drive to the bucket by Jaden Henry. Fred Hoiberg said, "I've never had so much fun coaching anybody as I have with this guy." How about that company? Keisei Tominaga at 6'2", generously listed, and Zach Edey at 7'4" in that company.
That's amazing. That's an amazing statistic right there. Shows how good he's been, not just shooting the basketball, but the cutter, getting to his pull-up, scoring in a number of different ways.
There he is defending. Double team, Walker knocked it out. 7 to shoot.
He was just sitting on that play. He's camped in the middle of the lane, understanding that a mismatch down there with Dawson Garcia and the big fella coming over helping out.
We are set up for a good finish here in the nightcap on day 1. Carrington, high arcing. A long rebound to Griesel.
Right on. Great line, that thing. Back on.
Griesel getting to his spot. Pretty Tyler Wall-esque for Sam Griesel.
Just drive the post. And it's a different deal when you're doing it against Braden Carrington compared to Jamison Battle. With Battle falling out of the game, Carrington's going to have to try to hold his own.
Griesel's got 9 and 9 to go along with 3 assists, and it's down to 1. Henley can't get it. Rebound Griesel. Give him 10 boards. They haven't led since the 16-15 mark. And that one bounces up and over.
He got a good look right there in transition. Minnesota not matching up. But we've seen him do this all year long. Drive down into the front court, get to the post, a little right jump hook action for Sam Griesel. 6 straight games in double figures. He's getting there again tonight. Griesel going to work in the post.
At Jersey Mike's, they freshly slice your sub right in front of you, which takes some training. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
I've always loved building things. Not just structures and skyscrapers, but teams who make it all possible. After all, we wouldn't be where we are today without them. So we made sure that, like these buildings, their futures may also stand the test of time.
I'm Sean Blakely, Technical Director at AmericanEagle.com. Our clients have complex website and digital needs. Werner Co. Global Brands needed a new website platform to empower marketing and reduce technical complexity for 12 international brands, including Werner Ladder. We solve digital challenges like this all the time. We re-architected and integrated their back-office systems, significantly reducing operational expenses. For complete website and digital solutions, come to AmericanEagle.com.
We've got your back, road warriors. Because we know you're picking up the pace. Steering life at 10 and 2. You're hitting the road. And we're helping you get there with confidence. So skip the counter without missing a beat. Choose any car in the aisle and be the boss of you. Go national. Go like a pro.
These two teams only separated by a penny. Nighttime just off the shores of Lake Michigan here in Chicago at the United Center. Brandon Gaughan, Robbie Hummel, Andy Katz. Game summary. Cooper 12 assists, although he hasn't had any since the 15-minute mark of the second half. Battle has fouled out. This is going to be, it's at least setting up to be, Robbie, a great finish.
It absolutely is. And Nebraska has clawed their way back. I think for the majority of this game, Minnesota has played better basketball. Technical foul and the free throw situation that we saw unfold with Jamison Battle fouling out looms large here.
First ever meeting in the Big Ten tournament for these two programs. There's a bump underneath. And that's going to be on Griesel.
It's certainly an easy thing to second guess a decision like leading Battle in, but I really am okay with the decision. I just think with the season they've had, you're thinking, let's go out and win this game, and he's going to give us the best chance to do it.
Well, it's a veteran, smart player.
Right. But the problem is on a bang-bang play like that, that's all it takes, and he's gone.
Spinning, contact, blocking foul on Tominaga. Bodies are just tumbling to the floor
really
here in the second half.
It is carnage out here on both sides. Tominaga trying to jump the ball handler. Jaden Henley putting him in the spin cycle.
A little bit of a chicken wing out there.
That could have probably went the other way.
Team fouls now 6 on Nebraska.
That trap coming from the baseline side.
Carrington, that one almost hit the roof before it fell through.
You've got to have more ball pressure. If you're trapping from the baseline side, that means if you're guarding the post player, you've got to get some pressure on there. That pass has got to have some airtime on it.
What a backdoor feed and the lay-in by Tominaga.
Just set that up so well. And Derek Walker is so comfortable at making that Princeton-style pass.
5 assists tonight. He leads the team with almost 4 a game this season. Here's Garcia, another double-double tonight, but he left that one short, and we head the other way.
Dawson Garcia. I mean, if you're Griesel, you've got to find a way to create more airtime so that your help defense can get out to that shot by Carrington. But if you're post Dublin, that's just a laser. It's going to be hard to recover.
Griesel looking for the lead. Left it short.
He's had 2 high-quality looks from that same spot. Those are shots he's been making.
Both of those shots are the chance to give him the lead, and either one of them fell down. 4 minutes to go. Garcia, 2 more, 18.
Hoiberg going for the steal, and Dawson Garcia taking advantage to that floater.
And then he's picking up the foul on this end as Griesel drove it right into his chest. He'll be at the line when we get back. Final media timeout. Got to win to move on. Maryland awaits the winner. Who will it be, the Gophers or the Huskers?
When Wingstop made a chicken sandwich, you know they wouldn't make just one. Now you can have 12 new sauce and toss favorites, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, and OG hot. So try the new chicken sandwich at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
He always went for bad debt.
We had a lot of expenses. The intro offers were hard to pass up.
Then the interest payments started.
The debt just kept getting worse. So we broke up with bad debt and got a low fixed rate SoFi personal loan for our big expenses.
The couch goes back tomorrow.
Break up with bad debt. Fund weddings, home renovations, or consolidate debt. View your rate at SoFi.com. SoFi, get your money right.
Diabetes can serve up a lot of questions, like what is your glucose and can you have more carbs? Before you decide, with the Freestyle Libre 2 system, know your glucose level and where it's headed, no finger sticks needed. Manage your diabetes with more confidence and lower your A1C. The #1 doctor-prescribed CGM, Freestyle Libre 2. Try it for free at freestylelibre.us.
Coming up, Big Ten Live basketball postgame presented by American Eagle delivers highlights, the analysis, the press conferences, and all the talk of this great tournament. This is just day one. There's the crew getting ready for it. 68-64, 3:50 left. Winner of this one marches on to face the 6-seeded Maryland Terrapins in tomorrow's nightcap. If you think today was fun, tomorrow that's going to be wall-to-wall fun.
Absolutely. I always think when you start getting into postseason play and the games start tipping around 11 or noon, depending on where you live here in the country, it's just the best time of year. That's what we're in store for starting tomorrow here in the Big Ten tournament.
Double-double for both Garcia and Cooper. Dawson Garcia has 3 double-doubles this year. All of them have come.
Got their number.
And it's Minnesota by 4. Can they hang on? They have led for almost the entire contest.
Averaged in the first 2 games, 15 points, 14.5 rebounds. I mean, he has done work.
Sam Griesel's done a little work. If he makes this free throw, and he does not, he will get a double-double. He's on 9 points and 10 boards. 6 points or fewer. Nebraska's been good in the close ones. They've won 5 of their last 6, and now Griesel has a double-double, his 4th of the year. And there's a foul on Hoiberg.
That's a tough foul to swallow, because you're just going to send Minnesota down, and they're going to shoot foul shots here.
Cooper has not been that great at the line this year, though. 59%. 2 for 2 tonight. 3 for 3. Sometimes you see guys shoot and you look at their percentage, you're like, how is that possible? He's one of those guys.
He's shooting 37% from 3.
Right.
And his stroke looks pure. It's just been contagious for Minnesota all year. They're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in all of college basketball.
Other guys, Andy told you, who could come back for one more season. No decision yet, but he calmly knocks down both free throws, does the senior.
For sure.
Derek Walker, the 6-year senior, partially blocked, but look at Tominaga flying in.
No one blocking him out. He's over in the right corner. Pharrell Payne doing his job, defending Derek Walker, but Tominaga's extra effort making it happen.
19 for him. Back to one possession here in Chicago. Cooper guarded closely by Lawrence. Garcia swings it across.
Well, Henley's going to have to go.
Yeah, I mean, the shot clock didn't reset. He got fouled. He got bailed out by C.J. Wilcher. Boy, Wilcher is irate.
This shot clock winding down. Henley doesn't realize it. He's only got around 3 seconds here. He's got to go. There's some contact up top. C.J. Wilcher doesn't like it, but that's just a foul you cannot take right there.
So 3 free throws now for Henley. One of those 4 freshmen in the rotation. 3 of them are from the Twin Cities area, but Henley is from Los Angeles. His college decision came down to Minnesota or San Diego State. 110 miles from his house, or 1,900, and he went 1,900.
He's not been a good foul shooter either this year. 63%, but you're watching him shoot these. It's like, wow.
And he calmly knocks down all 3 with 3 minutes to play. Tominaga can't get it off. Now Griesel down in the paint. Pivots, yes.
I mean, Dawson Garcia is just all over him, and Griesel wills that in.
Game has been hovering around this 3 to 7 point range for a while, but Nebraska has not been able to get over the hump. Around the arc, and Carrington stepped on the sideline.
That's the stop that the Cornhuskers need, and Griesel, double-figure scoring performance here. Garcia all over him. Somehow, some way, Griesel gets this to go.
Tominaga frees himself, but cannot hit the 3.
That's the play they've run for him all year long. Slip that little back screen, and they pin in for him. So that's one Tominaga wishes he could have back. He got a quality look.
He did. Ben Johnson now has 1 timeout remaining.
This is a 60-second timeout.
He hasn't been able to get many clean looks tonight, but this was certainly one of them.
Yeah, Jaden Henley has had the tough job of sticking with Keisei Tominaga on the perimeter. Here's the slip, and here's the pin in. That's a look that he normally knocks down. A little bit short.
But 19 points tonight, Rob. Actually 21.
He's done it once again with a ton of shots inside the arc. Not that he hasn't made his fair share of threes with Keisei Tominaga tonight. He's knocked down 2, but 7 of 11 from the field. It's been as a cutter. It's been off the bounce. He's just shown really since the start of the new year or even into February that he is much more than just a catch and shoot guy. He's a great cutter, great off the bounce. He can get to his pull up. He's just a really good all around player.
13 of his 21 in this second half. Seventh game this year since Feb 1st with 20 or more. He had 5 straight games of 20 in February. That's the most consecutive by a Husker since 1998. All right, but if you're Nebraska, the bottom line is you haven't been able to get over the hump. And what are they going to need to do here outside of the obvious hit a couple shots and get a couple stops?
I think you got to get a stop right here and then get into your offense. Tominaga is always a great option. We've seen Griesel be very aggressive here. Derek Walker has been bottled up by Pharrell Payne. I think it'd be wise to go elsewhere or find a different way for him to get involved. But just driving him from the elbow, Payne's done a pretty nice job.
Minnesota without one of their leaders, Jamison Battle, who fouled out a while ago in this second half. 2 minutes.
Derek Walker really applying pressure to take that high-low away.
Henley down inside. And Walker fouling Payne. Third foul on the big man.
That's the hack-a-shack right there.
And they're willing to put Payne, just a 47% foul shooter, at the stripe.
To think, with the position he had, even though Derek Walker, one of the strongest guys in the league, Payne certainly had the advantage.
He's 0 for 2 tonight at the line. And he cannot get the front end.
What a smart play by Derek Walker there.
Sam Griesel drives in. Off balance, but he got it. 2-point game.
Making some unbelievable shots. Hang time there by Griesel. He brings that thing back and somehow finds a way to finish right over the top of Dawson Garcia.
Our nightcap is going right down to the wire. Garcia can't get it. Pass was wide. A turnover with 1:16 remaining.
Just like the start of the game, Minnesota, just a poor entry pass. Here's the rub action, Tominaga. Griesel bringing that back by his right ear. It's a tough finish.
All 14 of his points have come since halftime, and here he's called for the offensive foul. Fred Hoiberg has a few words for Paul Sells, but he's not going to get that call overturned.
Boy, did Tominaga come set is going to be the question. I don't think he's moving at all. Boy, he sets a screen and Garcia goes bouncing off into Sam Griesel, but what's the foul?
Tough break for Nebraska. And a huge call in this game, obviously. Talon Cooper looking over at Ben Johnson, the youngest head coach in the Big Ten, trying to march his team on to tomorrow night against Maryland.
Walker just trying to front Garcia, take him totally out of the play.
So it's Ola Joseph. Lost it. Hoiberg brings it up in Nebraska. They've got 3 timeouts. Looks like, though, Fred Hoiberg's going to say play on, and there's another offensive foul on an illegal screen. Unbelievable. This one on Lawrence.
Lawrence on the handoff. That time he doesn't come set. I mean, that is an offensive foul. First one, I don't think it was, but here you have got to get out of the way if you're not set, and he certainly rolls right through this.
Back-to-back illegal screens in a 2-point game here in the Big Ten tournament with inside of a minute to go. Now you've got just a 3.7 difference between the shot and game clock. So do you foul when they get across the timeline?
Yeah, I think so. You're going for the steal here. Boy, you got him. 3 seconds to go on that 10-second violation.
Yeah, a little surprised.
I wouldn't say Minnesota was in a favorable spot right there.
Yeah. Well, the free throw shooter will be Talon Cooper. As we documented earlier, he came into tonight a 59% shooter, but he's hit all 4 so far. A veteran in his 125th game in college, 3 years at Morehead State, now with the Golden Gophers. And that one he missed. So either way, it's going to be a 1-possession game. 3-point game. Fred Hoiberg, I think he's saying get it in the front court and let's call timeout. They still have 3 left. Griesel breaks it up, and that's what they do. 24.7 remaining. Heart starting to beat a little faster. Palms starting to sweat a little more as we get down to the good stuff. So Nebraska, plenty of time. What do you think they do? Do you look for a Tominaga 3?
Yeah, I think that's certainly on the table. You know, Griesel has been able to maneuver and get stuff at the basket. You do have Derek Walker, but I think Tominaga's certainly going to be a part of this as well, whether it's as a cutter or bringing him off screens. I think that if you're Fred Hoiberg, you've got a number of actions that you can go to, and any of those three guys are good options.
Game summary. Cooper still sitting on 12 assists. Remember, for Minnesota, Jamison Battle fouled out a while ago with 13 points, and it's been a balanced attack for Nebraska. The Cornhuskers, their last lead was at the 8:59 mark of the first half. It's been Minnesota on top ever since. They try to get it to Griesel. Boy, was that dangerous.
The Brad Stevens play over the top, and it works almost to perfection, even though what an unbelievable catch. That's the danger of that play, is that you're throwing it over the top, and really Minnesota had an opportunity there to go get that thing.
Griesel, good thing he can hop.
He goes right up over the top, and there's the screen in for Tominaga. Brad Stevens made that the end thing to do, end of game in NBA situations. Works here at the college level just as well.
Tominaga 23, 1-point game. And another situation where you don't foul until they get in the front court.
Yeah, I think you're getting a trap here. You're looking to turn over the Gophers. If they beat that first trap, they make their way across half court, you take the foul.
5 wins this season when trailing at the half, tied for the most in the conference. They trailed tonight at intermission 37-33. They've trailed by as many as 11 in the second half. Now this is what we have sometimes seen Minnesota do this year, where they start everybody out of bounds.
The go routes.
Yeah, 4 birds. They get it into Carrington, back to Cooper, and there's the foul. You know, Jamison Battle is their best free throw shooter. He's obviously not an option on the bench. I'm a little surprised they haven't tried to get it to Dawson Garcia.
70% on the year for Garcia.
But Cooper bounces it in.
It feels like Jamison Battle fouled out about 7 hours ago.
It does. It really does. All he can do is sit and watch in what could possibly be his last Minnesota game. Huge, just gigantic free throws from Talon Cooper. Now Minnesota's going to take a timeout, and you would think the discussion has to be right now about whether you foul up 3, and if you do, when do you do it?
And this is kind of the sticking point. Not just do you foul up 3. I think it's become more of a trendy thing to do in college basketball. But do you take one in the backcourt where you're not worried? Because then there's still 15 seconds left. You're not a great foul shooting team. So it can get a little dicey. It's whatever you practice. It's whatever your philosophy is. And that's what Ben Johnson is reinforcing with his guys right now.
How about all the close games in conference play this year, which is fitting with all the teams that finished clustered in the middle of the league. It's just been a wild ride, and we're set up for a possible wild finish here in this one.
But the good thing, if you were to take the foul, even though there's lots of time left, you're going to have to make foul shots yourself, is that you're not in danger of fouling while someone's in the act of shooting.
Nebraska has a timeout if they need it. Griesel will bring it up.
He was telling him to foul.
Yep, and Garcia does. 12.7. Different coaches, different philosophies. There are a lot of coaches who would say, hey, there's too much time left to foul, but Ben Johnson electing to send Griesel to the line. 67% shooter. Back to 2 points.
Terrell Payne coming into rebound. He's got to be sure if this shot's made, he gets down to the other end, because he can't be the guy that catches the ball for Minnesota.
15 points, 11 rebounds for Sam Griesel. Gets them both. Back to 1. Hoiberg checks in. Denham Dawson out. Now Denham Dawson comes back in.
Wisely taking Payne out of the game.
Yeah. And here goes the same setup for Minnesota. Minnesota cannot call any timeouts. None left.
I'm not sure if Pharrell Payne could sub out there, because no time came off the clock.
Yeah, no time came off the clock. I think that's the discussion. You're exactly right. So that means Payne back in, and Ola Joseph has to go to the bench. And again, they want to get Payne off the floor because he's a sub 50% foul shooter.
But Braves Carrington was who came in, so he's got to leave the floor.
Yeah.
They tried to fast one and get a better foul shooter out there, which respect. But,
or disrespect, whatever. Ola Joseph though back in. So Carrington to the bench, and here we go. All right, everybody, take a deep breath. Cooper gets it in and gets it back. Got to get to him quickly.
Wow, a lot of time ran off there.
Precious seconds, 5 of them. Well, sometimes, though, there are guys who just want to go to the line late, and Cooper, regardless of the percentages, he clearly wants to be the shooter.
No, he's been the guy.
7 of 8.
Cooper goes to the line to shoot 2.
Oh, just enough leg.
It'll be interesting if this goes down. Nebraska has to know that Minnesota's going to take a foul. Do you take the risk of throwing it into the front court and taking a timeout so you make them think twice, almost like advancing the ball NBA style? It's just there's so much open floor and so much time to take a foul. Now, if he misses, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll see. Talon Cooper. He missed it. 2-point game. Griesel. He's going to go. Got to put it up. Out of bounds. They'll review it for the moment they say Nebraska ball.
Boy, live action. I thought that was off Griesel.
And Griesel, I thought, was going to the bench to call a timeout, and then he turned on the Jets. Tough to
certainly
tell.
Henley gets a hand on it there.
But did it kind of graze the back of Griesel? I don't think they're going to be able to change that call.
That's going to be tough.
I think it's going to stay with Nebraska, right?
I don't see how they could overturn that.
And they're also going to look at the clock. Right now, it says 1 second. Although, you know, it looked like it hit kind of the forearm of Griesel after Henley hit it.
It's just with the direction that Henley pokes this, it was a very strange way that ball ended up going directionally.
And they're going to need to add about 0.4 of a second.
Oh, that ball's still in his hand.
Yeah, that's the look. That's the look right there. We have such a good crew working tonight, and in moments like these, that pays off. Yeah.
Yeah, his hand stays on the ball, and that's why it comes off almost like a behind-the-back pass.
The officials, Paul Sells, Larry Scirotto, Kelly Pfeiffer, and they changed the call. It belongs to Minnesota. They added 0.3 of a second, but that may not matter.
Boy, Nebraska's players, I don't think any of these guys thought there could be any chance that this call was overturned.
Surprised that Griesel didn't take the timeout and drove it in?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you can certainly second guess, but a lot of times live action, defense isn't set, you're trying to make something happen in the open floor. He wouldn't have been the one to call it. Fred Hoiberg would have been the one to call the timeout.
Yeah. Minnesota, again, no timeouts. And there's a foul before the ball comes in on Denham Dawson. Now he fouled Jaden Henley, who is a 63.5% shooter, but he's 3 of 3 tonight. Ooh, man, palms are sweating.
You're gonna bust out an Eminem verse here? Mom spaghetti.
These weak arms are heavy, yeah. Good pull. The freshman, safe to say, biggest free throws of his season, and he misses the first. Okay, so Fred Hoiberg's going to take the timeout here. None left. 1.3 remaining. I wondered, though, if you're Minnesota, Rob, if you missed this one on purpose.
That's why I think maybe you keep that timeout and
wait.
Call it if you get the rebound.
Yeah.
Or if it's just a made shot.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Because now if he misses, it's a full court heave. Whereas if you still had it, you could call it and then throw it the length of the floor. If Nebraska does indeed lose this game, they're going to look back on some of the illegal screens. I think one of the calls was correct. One of the calls, maybe not so much. And then this turnover, they've had opportunities late to score, and they've squandered them. That's a great shot. I mean, that is.
Yeah, and, you know, even if he had kept the ball, there was really nowhere for him to go.
Yeah.
1.3 left. We'll see if Ben Johnson instructs Jaden Henley to try to miss this on purpose.
I would. I mean, you're just looking at a 90-foot shot where you can have your guys tell them don't foul, but certainly give semi-pressure to make them shoot over the top, and then you don't have the baseball pass where crazy things happen in March.
Everybody in this building is standing. He made it.
Maybe you can't lose now, but it would take a 90-foot heave.
They need a quick catch and shoot. They got it to Tominaga. Oh, off the back of the rim. Minnesota survives and advances to face Maryland tomorrow night. And Nebraska, who had won 5 of their last 6, came in as one of the hottest teams in the tournament. But Minnesota leads it for the last 31 minutes, and they hang on.
I know it didn't go in, but I think that's why you missed the free throw. I mean, as that shot's in the air, I can't imagine Ben Johnson's heart rate had to be about 175. That's a pretty good look. It's just off the glass, goes off the back iron. But Nebraska executed and got to look for the guy they wanted. Oh, so close.
And then dejection. He got it off barely by about 1/10 of a second. Would have counted, but not to be. Jamison Battle, his career marches on. Andy is with Ben Johnson.
All right, let's exhale, breathe. When you saw that Tominaga had a shot, what did you immediately think?
I was mad at myself because we've been working on it, and we talked about missing the free throw because he's really good, obviously, and Fred's unbelievable with drawing up stuff. And I just, my gut said they're going to have something, and my first thought was we should have missed it.
You told me you never lost this group. So many different times, injuries, all these things that were happening, and yet this group still played for you. Why?
I just think, these guys are warriors, man, and they got it in them, and they don't shy away from adversity. We know it's going to come every day in some form and every game, They just keep showing up, and they love to play. They love to compete. It's got a good group, man.
How'd you win this game when Jamison Battle fouls out with 9 minutes at a point where you were pretty upset, got a technical over that?
Yeah, I was kicking myself. That was dumb on my part. Let the emotions get the best of me on that one. So I need to apologize to my team on that. But, guys, like I said, they're resilient. And, again, when you've been kicked down a bunch, you just know how to respond. It's the only choice. And they're going to still play the game, whether J-Mo was in or not. So when they're going to play it, we might as well respond. And I thought we had a great response today.
I can tell you're emotional right now. Why?
I'm just happy for our guys, man. I think, it's been such an up and down year, and I'm just happy that when we talk about certain things and what goes into winning, to be rewarded for that, especially by young guys and the guys coming back, it's a great value system that we're going to instill. So excited, man.
All right, how do you beat Maryland?
Oh, God. We got to play really well. They're an unbelievable team. Kevin does an unbelievable job. We're going to have to go back and look at the film and try to figure something out, man.
Hey, congratulations. You deserve it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Now Ben Johnson of the Minnesota Golden Gophers on to play Maryland as the last second heave by Tominaga off the back of the iron. Now, that's about as good as you could hope for.
No, I mean, that's a high-quality look, and I think that's why Ben Johnson said I was kicking myself for not just having to miss, because then it's a 90-foot shot that you're having to basically baseball pass it down, and there's not time to advance the ball. But we see it all the time, and we see it all the time in March where guys get opportunities and they cash in the game.
Thursday is set. Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament presented by TIAA. It will all start at noon Eastern. Rutgers and Michigan. 4 great ones for you tomorrow, all here on Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. All right, partner, go get some rest.
We'll do it again tomorrow.
Do it again tomorrow. It'll start at noon Eastern. Minnesota upsets Nebraska. Just their 3rd Big Ten win. They march on. Dave and the gang to wrap it up. All the information you need from right here at the United Center after this. For Andy Katz, Robbie Hummel, and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So long, everybody.
Welcome in. It's our Big Ten Live postgame presented by AmericanEagle.com. Great to have you with us, Dave Revson, Rayfeld Davis, Bruce Weber, and the star of the game, or one of the stars, Dawson Garcia. A double-double for Minnesota as the 14 seed gets a win here. Dawson, you guys have played really well here over the last couple weeks. 2nd win in your last 3 games. It has been a rough year, a long year for you guys. How have you found this resilience to make this run?
Day, trusting the coaches and what they got in store for us, and I think that just showed tonight that we're a resilient group, and we're not planning on packing our bags or hanging our heads anytime soon.
You got 18 points in this game, but you've been averaging over 18 points the last 3 games. What's been clicking for you on the offensive end?
Just trusting my teammates and what the coaches haven't planned for me, playing slow, playing slower. I think that's been big for me.
What about you guys? I was at practice early, and you guys had high hopes. Obviously, injuries, all the different things that have happened. I know Coach Johnson's positive, but who's been the key in the locker room? Who's kept you guys together? Who's been the leader?
Yeah, I say 2 big positive factors for us have been Parker Fox and Isaiah Eaton. Just because, coming off back-to-back ACLs, they show us true resilience, and they bring it every day. Good attitude, positive energy, getting us hyped up before the games. So really owe a lot of credit to those guys.
Take us back to the moment where Jamison fouled out here. It felt like the tide had turned a little bit in the game. How did you guys dig down there? Like, what were you saying to one another in that huddle, and what were you thinking yourself?
Yeah, J-Mo's the huge key for us, so it was just next man up, and that's what we had to rely on. We got a lot of young guys, but it's next guy up. It's nothing that they're not used to.
So, Dawson, you've got Maryland coming up tomorrow. You played them twice. It hasn't been particularly close. What do you need to do to beat the Terps?
Third time's a charm, but just come out, play hard, do what we did tonight, and just try to get the job done.
That is the attitude. Dawson Garcia, congratulations.
Thank you.
On a really nice win for the Gophers. Look forward to seeing you back out here tomorrow.
Sir, appreciate you.
That is Dawson Garcia again. Minnesota winner. The 13 and 14 seeds both win. We will break down this game. We got coaches' press conferences coming up as well as we continue here on our post game.
I'm Tim Elanius, VP of Strategy at AmericanEagle.com. Our clients have complex website and digital needs. Asian culinary brand P.F. Chang's needed to reduce technical debt, improve ADA accessibility, and enable their marketing team to deliver a great user experience for their customers. We solve digital challenges like this all the time. We integrated multiple systems and implemented a new digital experience for P.F. Chang's, resulting in improved performance. For complete website and digital solutions, come to AmericanEagle.com.
Wasn't me.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
When you see Wendy's Square Hamburger, you know you're getting the best. That's why Reggie Miller is celebrating our every move.
Boom, baby! There's the beef! You ain't getting this next door.
Reggie says celebrating Wendy's hamburgers is a team effort.
Look at that.
And he's right.
Catherine. In the building.
Sorry, Reg.
You like it.
When you want the best hamburger,
Square's the beef!
choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Dave's Single.
I'm a screen-addicted tween, and if I'm not posting on
social media,
I don't feel seen.
Hey, Mom, look.
Mom? Oh my God, Mom, you gotta look at this.
Nope. Keeping my eyes on the road is paying off with Drivewise. Post about that.
Boring.
Oh, say cheese!
No, thank you.
Unblock me!
Stop.
That was awesome! Hey, what's your ad? I'll tag you. Get Drivewise from Allstate, save 40% for avoiding mayhem, like me.
Lowe's knows you never come in for just one thing.
So we've got to know a lot of things about a lot of things.
Like what makes your lawn thrive, paint that adds color in one coat, and the dishwasher that handles all the dirty work. You got this, and we got you.
We all work differently now. So CDW helped us deploy Mac supercharged by Apple Silicon. Built-in security protects me from malware and forgotten passwords.
I've got enough battery life to get me halfway around the globe.
And lower overall costs leave more money in our budget.
For more practical furniture?
This was supposed to be hip. No. Could you help me out?
With Mac configured by CDW, a solution that works for everyone isn't just possible, it's powerful.
Tomorrow, the 2023 Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament, presented by TIAA, continues with 4 more matchups, and it all begins with a huge showdown between Michigan and Rutgers. Tomorrow at noon Eastern, only on Big Ten Network. This is the Big Ten Network. Big Ten Live Basketball Postgame is presented by AmericanEagle.com for all your website development and digital marketing needs.
Back at the United Center where Michael Jordan reigns supreme. Some good basketball being played in this building on Wednesday night. The 13 and 14 seeds winning. First time that has happened on opening night since 2017. Minnesota moves on to face Maryland. We had Ohio State win in game 1. They will get Iowa coming up tomorrow. That game is in the afternoon session, Minnesota and Maryland. In the evening session, of course, a full day tomorrow, starting with a huge bubble battle between Rutgers and Michigan. Back with Rayfel Davis and Bruce Weber after watching the Gophers take down Nebraska. Pretty impressive performance by Minnesota, a team that has found that resilience, guys, kind of fought back. We saw a tremendous team effort here and kind of spearheaded by Talon Cooper, their point guard, who was just outstanding, Rayfel.
Yeah, their offense was flowing, and it started with Talon Cooper. But as you look at the Gophers team, 25 assists on 27 made field goals. When you play the game the right way, the basketball guys tend to reward you. Talon Cooper was unbelievable in this game. 12 assists in the game, fit to go along with 16 points. He was aggressive getting in the lane, making plays for others on the kickouts, finding open shooters. He was big time all game long. And when Jamison Battle fouled out of this game with around 9 minutes left to go in the second half, he took the game over with scoring the basketball, making plays at the rim, making free throws. He did everything for this Gophers team on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he did. And then he had somebody to throw it to. That's pretty good. Dawson Garcia, we just had him up here, does a little bit of everything. We talked before the game. He can shoot the three. He can go inside. He can make plays. They go high-low to him quite a bit. He's a good post-up, versatile big guy. Lefty, it's always a little different to go against lefties because you can't take that angle away. And there he goes with his right hand. And he shoots the three ball. So it's tough. You bring that big guy out on the court, it makes it difficult on the defense.
Garcia, his third double-double of the year, and we're talking about Talon Cooper and those assists, those 12 assists, a Minnesota record for the Big Ten tournament, breaking the old mark held by Ben Johnson, his head coach.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he got Ben right out of the record books on this day. I can't say enough about Minnesota. You guys can speak to this a lot more than I could, but it just feels like you get to this point in the season. I mean, we're talking a week ago, they had won once since Christmas. One time since Christmas, and yet you dig down inside. There's a lot of really good young talent, as we've seen on this team. Pharrell Payne, Ola Joseph. You feel like the future's bright. But it was really some of these older guys who have led the way here. And it really speaks volumes about the character.
Yeah, like a guy like Dawson Garcia, he's been big time. He hasn't sold the season in. He's still playing hard, still playing for a professional career. He know guys are still watching how he's going to finish out the season. Because I've been on a team in the Big Ten that's finished last place in the league. And we go on the road at Wisconsin. The season wasn't even over yet, and we had older guys and younger guys on the back of the bus making spring break plans. They're already planning out to go to Florida as if we already lost in the Big Ten tournament. So to see this team come out, play hard, play with the passion, play with the pride, it was big time. And you heard Dawson Garcia. It's guys in the locker room leading this team that aren't even playing any minutes. And when you have guys that are committed, that's not playing, and they're losing, it speaks volumes for that locker room.
Yeah, and we got to bring up Garcia also had 6 assists in there. So for a big guy to have 6 assists is impressive. I got to give credit to Coach Johnson. And I went to practice early when we were at Media Day in Minnesota. He definitely keeps a positive attitude. And I talked to him a couple times during the year, and it was tough on them. And he didn't give in. He kept being positive, kept encouraging them. And they must have a good locker room because it would be easy to quit because they had some butt kickings. That
was ugly
at times, but credit to their players, credit to the coaching staff.
Because it's so hard to lose game after game after game in this league and keep going to practice. Because you lose a game, you still got to go practice for 2 or 3 hours, watch that film. Sometimes you watch the entire game, and you just got to find a way to keep getting better. And it's tough for locker rooms to stay together, to stay committed, to continue to fight and play hard. You just got to give credit to Coach for letting them do it.
That is what they did, just their second win in their last 15 games. Speaking of Coach Ben Johnson addressing the media right now, let's listen in.
Man, credit Nebraska. Fred obviously does an unbelievable job with that group. And to, finish the season the way they did, hats off to those guys. It's been a battle all 3 times we've played them. I have a ton of respect for them and their staff and their players. But credit to my guys. I thought the resolve and toughness that they show, both mental and physical, the entire game, especially after getting off to a rough start, was phenomenal. And that's what it takes to win at this level and in this tournament.
Start with questions for the student athletes. We'll start with Marcus on the right-hand side.
Excuse me, Talon, just talk about the free throw shooting. I know earlier in the year you hit some big ones, Ohio State. Talk about what was going through your mind when you down the stretch there.
No. Is this on?
You
hear me?
You was 8 for 10.
There you go. Okay. Nothing was really going through my mind. Just stepping up, just knocking down the free throw. They made me come in every day, shoot 75 free throws, 75 makes. So I think that helped a lot. So just having confidence stepping to the free throw line.
We'll go over here in the second row on the left.
Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. Hey, I think you guys had 25 assists in the first 36 minutes because I think everything at the end was free throws. What'd you guys do to break Nebraska's defense down so well and be able to throw it around and get guys open? This is for the players.
Yeah. we know the backside and the skips is what they give when they post double, and so really just getting it to the opposite side and then just getting them in rotation, whether it's taking the open shot, driving the closeout, or swing, just really keeping the ball hot.
Go back to Marcus.
For both of you, just what does this win mean? All the struggles that you guys have gone through this year, but Ben said that you guys just kept showing up and maybe use this as a different second season for you guys.
Start with Talon and then Dawson.
It means a lot. We've been coming in every day, like Coach said, working hard, and it shows if you come in every day, pay attention to details, follow what the coach is telling you, and what their defensive plan is, defensive scheme. It works for a win.
Dawson.
Yeah, just kind of like what Lon was saying. Just showing up each and every day, and we know we're playing good basketball right now, so we know it's not a fluke, and so we're just continue to ride this wave that we're on and trying to build off of it. I know for a fact nobody's like satisfied in the locker room or anything like that, so we're gonna go back tonight, get ready for Maryland, and come ready to play.
Other questions for the student athletes? All right, you guys can head back to the locker room. We'll continue with questions for Coach Johnson.
Thank you.
You're good?
Good.
Questions for Coach Johnson, please raise your hand and we'll get the mic to you. We'll start with Marcus on the right-hand side.
Ben, just Talon, broke the team record for assists in the tournament.
Yeah, you beat mine.
Yeah.
That's what Michelle told me.
Pretty early. He beat yours.
Yeah.
Just talk about, the first half and the ball movement and the execution and that carried over the confidence that you guys had.
Yeah, no, I thought our guys were fully bought in and what we were trying to do scheme-wise offensively, and they did a great job executing. I mean, all credit goes to those guys. They made the right plays when the right plays needed to be made. I thought they were aggressive. I thought, they built confidence within each other as the game went on, and I thought that was important. But I just thought our toughness really showed on both sides of the ball. And, again, we've come a long way with our free throws, but we just kept telling these guys beginning, middle of the year, to stick with it. And, again, live in the gym, and eventually it's going to pay off. And I think we saw that tonight.
Other questions for Coach? We'll go in the back left.
Coach, can you assess you all's performance out of double teams in the post?
Yeah, they do a really good job. They're post double, and they do a great job rotating out of it, and they have good size. And we had a couple things we wanted to go to, and I just thought we handled it well. I didn't feel like we allowed their double to rush us. I thought we had a good rhythm in what we were trying to do, and we moved it once it got out. And, if you can skip it and if it's wide open, that's great, but sometimes it's the one more or it's the swing, and it's a shot or a drive. You got to get them in rotation, but then they do a great job flooding the ball, so you got to play off 2 feet. And I thought our guys, for the most part, attacked it with a purpose and just didn't get sped up.
Second row.
Hindsight being 2020, would you have taken battle out of the game? And how would you have assessed your technical and the impact that it had on the game?
Yeah, I was probably 0 for 3 on coaching decisions in this one. It was a tough call. I put myself in J-Mo's shoes, honestly, in that minute, and I said, you know what? He's given a lot to the school, and sometimes you got to let it rip and you got to let it ride. And I knew they were going to probably go back to the ball screen with Greasel, and like I said, sometimes I wanted to side with him and let it rip a little bit. My technical, that was on me 100%. That was probably not the smartest thing to do. And then the third one was we had been working on it in practice a bunch with the last second free throw situation, and I knew with Tominaga in the game that there's a chance he's gonna throw something in. It's gonna look good, and then Fred obviously is phenomenal with drops late. And I've debated in the timeout whether to have Jaden miss it. And then I'm yelling at him to miss it, and he didn't. And so I was thinking, that was dumb not to make sure that we missed that free throw. But thankfully, I was 0 for 3 but 3 for 3 because none of them burned us.
On the right-hand side.
Hey, Coach. Coming in with playing the Wednesday game,
How did your staff kind of approach, scouting Maryland, or what did you learn from those 2 regular season matchups during the season to kind of try to replicate a similar result tomorrow?
Yeah, no, they're a really, really, really good team, and I think Kevin does a phenomenal job. I really do. I mean, he's what they do defensively has caused us problems. They got great depth. They got veteran players that know how to play. They got a couple studs. It's going to be a very, very tough game for us. So we got to go back to the hotel and really, have a phenomenal game plan to be successful tomorrow. But I tell you what, it's better than the alternative. So we'll go back, and it'll be a late one, but that's what we want, and we'll figure it out.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
The Gophers live to see another day, and they advance themselves on the bracket to that matchup against Maryland. We talked about it with Dawson Garcia. They played 2 times in 18 days in February, and I think it's fair to say it didn't go very well for Minnesota. The Terps won by a combined 53 points. What's the mentality, Bruce, when you're going into a matchup on a one-day turnaround with a team that's owned you?
Well, I think the one thing we got to give credit to Minnesota. We talked about how do you get up for all this. Well, early in the broadcast, we talked about coming to the United Center, being in the tournament. They get fired up one more time. This is something you dream about all the time. So now they got another opportunity. Can they do it again? I don't know. Their guard play has to be good, and they got to take care of the ball. We know when Maryland makes baskets and presses, they cause havoc on defense, and I think that'll be a key.
I think they got to move the ball again. 25 assists in this game. They got to keep sharing the ball, because if you get into a dribble fest against Maryland, they're just going to take your ball. And one thing they got to shore up before tomorrow is 15 turnovers in this game led to 18 points for Nebraska. That's how Maryland wins games. Maryland steals points through their defense, being able to run and transition. So for Minnesota, take care of the basketball, hit the offensive glass, win the rebound war, and give yourself a chance by taking good shots.
So they end a 4-game losing streak against Nebraska. Disappointing for the Huskers. This is a Nebraska team that have been playing so well down the stretch, guys. It felt like defensively they never really got into it. Minnesota could get pretty much anything they wanted, certainly for most of that first half. What did you take away from watching Nebraska here, a team that I think came into this thinking maybe they could make a run and perhaps get themselves into the NIT? It's not to say they couldn't at this point. They're 500, so certainly a possibility, but disappointing.
Yeah, I think learning to win. When you haven't won a lot, now everyone's telling them, oh, you're playing Minnesota, you beat them twice, you're probably going to win. So it's that mental part is so important, and they weren't on their toes on defense. They've been so good defensively. That carried them early. Obviously, they got better offensively later. Fred said it in one of the timeouts. We're in mud, and that's what they looked like. They were late on everything and just never got it going. Keisei Tominaga, unbelievable finish. Again, averaged 20 with all the big guys. He didn't make all conference, but he should have been. I thought he should have been up there one of those spots.
Yeah, I don't think they came out and played with that edge and that fire that they had been playing with. You think about going to Iowa. Them beating Iowa was an upset. And that's how they've been playing, trying to upset teams. And in this game, they didn't approach it in this way. They let Minnesota feel comfortable early, let them get their heads up. And these guys are on scholarship. These are good players at Minnesota. You let Dawson Garcia and Jamison Battle feel good about themselves, they're going to make you pay. I don't think Nebraska took a mature approach to this game and kind of acted as if like teams act like when they're going to play Nebraska. Like, we're going to get this win. This is an easy one, and I think they took that approach.
I think there's 2 different mindsets as a player. Are you the underdog or are you the favorite? And this was one of the first times they've probably been a favorite in a while, and they just didn't react to it very well till a little bit later.
So as it is, they lose for the 5th straight time in the Big Ten tournament. That is the longest skid for any school. Fred Hoiberg still hasn't won a game as Nebraska's head coach in this tournament. He is addressing the media right now. Let's listen in.
Well, this one hurts. It's it's a tough way to end our tournament. This team has meant the world to me. It's meant the world, I think, to our fan base, and it just really it crushes me for it to end this way. And I'm going to focus on the positives with this group since February after the injuries where I'm not sure anybody thought we'd be able to get things going again and get things turned around. To have the best record in the league in the month of February with this team, with 4 rotation guys out of the lineup, I think says everything you need to know. And the leadership that these 2 guys, specifically to my right, did for this group and for what they did to flip the narrative of this program, I can't say enough about how much that means to all of us in our program and what that can do for our future. And as these guys know, and as I told them in the locker room, I'm going to do anything in my power to help them along the way. They've got incredible futures in front of them, and we owe it to them to do everything we can to put them in a really good position moving forward. And you know, I'd be remiss to not include Emmanuel in that discussion as well for what he did to really help change our culture this year, even though he wasn't on the floor. You know, Casey, the stretch he has had has just been an absolute joy to be a part of. And, you know, going out and throwing that one up, I thought it was in when it left his hands. And, you know, just, again, this group was special. It's absolutely special. And it's going to go down without question as one of my favorite groups of players that I've ever coached, not just on the floor, but what these guys meant to our team off the floor and the chemistry that they built and how they stayed together through all kinds of adversity. And that's what I'm going to focus on with this. Congrats to Minnesota. They played great. They've been playing very well since they came back from their shutdown. And, you know, unfortunately, we just let them get a little too comfortable early in this game. But as we've done all year, we came back. We were resilient. We kept fighting. We battled adversity. Unfortunately, we just could not quite get over the hump. We got that thing to 1 about 4 times. We just could not quite get over the hump.
Take questions for the student athletes. Start with Robin, front row left.
Hey, Sam. You guys were down, I think, 11 with 15 minutes left. And then, like Coach said, had multiple chances to take the lead but couldn't do it. I guess what's going through your guys' head is you get those opportunities, good looks that just aren't falling down the stretch.
I mean, I know this group, we all believe in each other, trust each other, and every time we came to the huddle, we were talking about sense of urgency, and there was never any doubt, and there never has been in any game this year for us because we have that trust, and I think that's just all the adversity that we've been through. It's brought us together, and not one time in this game did I think we were going to lose. No matter what it looked like, these guys are my brothers, and we will be friends and love each other for a very long time. But yeah, it was a tough one to end on.
We'll go to the third row.
Yeah, obviously you guys just got off the court 30 minutes ago, but do any of you have an idea of what's next for you after the season?
Derek?
My eligibility is up here, so I plan to play professionally, whether it's here or overseas. That's my plan after this.
Okay, we'll come to the front row.
Derek and Sam, we don't know what's going to happen Sunday. This could be it. How are you feeling right now? Angry, sad, all of the things, like what's going through your heads right now?
Sam, you start.
I mean, I think the initial thought is sadness, but with what this group did, and just for me personally, like why I came here, it's more of a smile because it happened. Right now, it sucks, it hurts, and I'm sure it hasn't really. If it is the end, it hasn't really sunk in. Obviously, we're gonna wait and prepare like we're gonna play in postseason, and we'll see what happens Sunday. But I guess if it is, just smile because it happened.
Derek, your thoughts?
Same what Griezl said. We just finished playing 30 minutes ago, so it hasn't fully set in. And like you said, we still don't know if we're playing Sunday. But it's sad, angry, just because. We wanted to continue to play in this tournament, and we knew that was a game that we could get, but we also knew we shouldn't have let that game slip through our hands. So, just sad, upset, a little disappointed.
Go to the second row.
Casey,
What did you see on that last shot, and did you think it was going in?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna go in, but it didn't. So.
What was this experience like for you in the last 3 weeks?
Yeah,
a month or so. What's it been like?
Yeah, it was a very good experience for me. Like, I really love playing with this team. You know, we have a great teammate. You know, so it was very fun for me.
Come back to Robin in the front row.
Hey, Casey, I don't know when the next time we're going to talk to you is. I guess where do things stand with you as far as your decision about to come back next season or potentially pursue other opportunities?
I haven't decided yet. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know yet.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you guys.
So disappointment for the Huskers after a great run to end the season. Some final thoughts, and then we'll take you to a big show as we put the entire first day of the Big Ten tourney into perspective and get you ready for a loaded day on Thursday.
Jimmy John's new Caprese Salami Pesto. With fresh mozzarella and basil pesto, it'll whisk you away to Italy. Unlike your all-talk, non-committal ex-boyfriend. Good riddance. For a limited time at Jimmy John's.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park, even extra time with your family in the park. And right now, you can save up to 25% on rooms at select Disney Resort hotels. So if you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
Honey, garlic, two of Mother Nature's finest ingredients. We put them in a sweet and savory sauce that'll give your taste buds a talking to. Mama knows best. All new honey garlic for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
T-Mobile has the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus for free and price lock guarantee. Do you?
Well, yes.
Switch to T-Mobile and get a free Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus with no trade-in required.
Our experts break down the brackets.
Now it's go time
on Big Ten basketball and beyond. Sunday on Big Ten Network.
This is the USFL. Dragons, USDA prime time football. Except no substitutes.
July 15th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Runners can choose between a 10K or 5K option, followed by a fantastic tailgate party featuring mascots, cheerleaders, food, and more. All participants receive a school-specific t-shirt and Big Ten medal. And if you can't make it to Chicago, you can still represent your school and participate virtually wherever you live. Register at btnbig10k.com or scan the QR code on the screen right now.
If you're looking for the biggest Big Ten experience, then welcome home. The Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Personalized with your pass so you get your favorite Big Ten sports and schools streaming and on demand. We're the home of compelling stories, the iconic games, hundreds of exclusive events you can't find anywhere else. Because when it comes to the Big Ten sports you love, there's no plus like home. Only on the Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Download and subscribe now.
Big Ten Live Basketball Postgame is presented by AmericanEagle.com for all your website development and digital marketing needs.
As we wrap up our postgame here from the United Center, another look at the bracket. Again, the 13 and 14 seeds moving on. You had two single-figure games. It's the third straight year that both of the Wednesday games have been decided by single-digit margins. And guys, if this is a precursor in any way to what we are going to see this week, I just can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to the first game tomorrow morning. It's going to be just a grudge match. You got Rutgers and Michigan, two teams fighting for their NCAA berths. I'm excited to see it.
Huge day today for Ohio State and Minnesota. Got to give them credit. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? We sure don't know if we can figure it out.
We're going to give you our best guesses, though, as to what's going to happen coming up here next. We do have a fresh big show just a couple minutes away. Take you through the day and get you ready for Thursday.
The majority of my patients with sensitivity, I see irritated gums and weak enamel. Sensodyne Sensitivity Gum and Enamel relieves sensitivity, helps restore gum health, and rehardens enamel. I'm a big advocate of recommending things that I know work.
Here we go, Billy. Swing hard, buddy.
At Auto Owners Insurance, we know you. We know every Saturday your son Billy plays Little League. We sponsor his team. And we know you love parking way too close to the field. That's why we tailor a unique policy for you and your car. Because sometimes something from out of left field can literally come from out of left field. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you. Hey, Billy.
On the $3 crabs have arrived at Sonic. All you need is a crisp $3 bill, but those don't exist. So we made our own Sonic on the $3 crabs.
Sonic.
Here's my dip.
Yes, sweet! Did you bring yourself a layer dip?
Yeah, but it's just 7 layers of beans.
Resourceful. Or did you invite all your friends to watch your favorite team?
They're losing, but that's okay.
So sweet, so unique. Baby, there's nothing better. I bet you probably done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper. Did you pretend to like sports or your girlfriend's dad would like it better?
What? No, I love sports.
Me too.
Everyone's done something that deserves a Dr. It's what you deserve.
Meet Brett from Apartment 2B. He's not letting an overdraft alert get him stressed. He knows he's covered with 0 overdraft fees when he overdraws his account by $50 or less. Overdraft Assist from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. But firefighters entering a burning house will one day save time when lives are on the line. Visualizing a patient's most recent scan will help speed up decision-making in the ER. And while the woolly mammoth is still extinct, that doesn't mean students can't take field trips to visit them. The metaverse may be virtual, but the impact will be real.
My advice in this one very specific case is to definitely put all your Reese's eggs in one basket. And that your basket be enormous. Oh, and that your basket have wheels so you can roll it around from place to place.
Saturday, Michigan and Ohio State face off. Then Minnesota collides with Michigan State. The 2023 Big Ten Hockey Tournament semifinals begin Saturday at 6:30 Eastern, only on Big Ten Network. Men's Gymnastics, Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on Big Ten Network.
Gotta watch out for this guy from deep. McNeil, he can do that all night. Another turnover, here he is. And sits the Paul Bears. We can do that. Oh, off the back of the rim. Minnesota survives and advances.
The 26th Big Ten tourney is underway in the city of Big Shoulder, Chicago, Illinois. We are at the United Center. The first 2 of 13 games in 5 days to decide this year's Big Ten champ, and is already living up to the billing. As we welcome you in, it's a big show presented by CDW. Great to have you with us. Dave Revson, Rayfeld Davis, and Bruce Weber. This league has been nip and tuck all year, and we got great evidence of the way that it has been played all season here tonight, and hopefully a precursor to what should be an incredible tournament.
I mean, this is March Madness, the first day of your conference tournament. You got the 14th seed and the 13th seed coming away with wins. Who would have expected that? It's a big-time day of basketball.
Yeah, just as we haven't been able to know what's going to happen all year, and same thing tonight. I would have never predicted Minnesota winning, especially how Nebraska has played. Ohio State, you thought it would be close, but not to be up 20 points in the first half.
No, absolutely. It's the first time since 2017 that both the 13 and the 14 have advanced on opening night. Let's take you through the games. We'll start with the early game between Ohio State and Wisconsin. Again, the Badgers hanging precariously. They were in Mike DeCourcy's last 4 in the tournament. Ohio State's been playing well late in the year. Pick it up in the first half. Sean McNeil, the West Virginia transfer, had a really nice game. Buckeyes on top by 10, and then more from McNeil. I mean, that is tough. 17 points, his 3rd straight game in double figures, 6th in his last 8, and then it is Bruce Thornton. The youngster was outstanding, 15 for the freshman. Buckeyes up by 15, and then more from Thornton. How about shot clock winding down, little step back. Buckeyes by 18 at the break. They built the lead to as many as 27 in the second half. Justice Suing with a turnaround. He had 16, but the Badgers had a run in him. Less than 9 minutes to go. They're down 16. Tyler Wall double teamed and somehow emerges from out of that to put it in. He had 19, 17 of them in the second half. Badgers within 14. Chucky Hepburn ended a field goal all day until that one, a 3-pointer that cuts the lead to 8. More from Wall. This is when you know you got it going, Ray Fell.
A nice little bank shot. I think he caught it, but if he didn't, those count.
Part of a 19-2 run. They were within 5. They actually got it down to 4. And then Wall here in a 5-point game cannot get it to go. The Buckeyes do hang on. They win it 65-57, their 3rd win in their last 4 games. After a 9-game skid, they move on to face Iowa. Reaction starting with Andy Katz and Chris Holtman.
You're up 27, but you held on. How'd you guys do it?
We just landed the plane, right? We just landed the plane. We missed some free throws. Their physicality really bothered us the last 10 minutes. They were really, give them credit. They were really physical. They're a veteran group that you knew was going to come. We missed some free throws. We just had trouble scoring, but our defense held on and made enough plays.
Chris, you never lost this team. What we saw tonight, you knew was inside that locker